Geez, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be back.
I'm huge.
Dead set through the trials and tribulations of modern technology. We've somehow come across the line in first position here in SimSational TV. And despite what the world wanted to throw at us, we have a stream out in the world, and it is live to you tonight here in 2025, mind you. Welcome, everyone. A Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Happy Holidays. Whatever you get up to over the holidays, is up to you, I suppose. But I tell you what, someone who has been a busy man this holidays is to my left here, Zach O'Reilly. He's been feverishly trying to get his computer working behind the scenes. Has that been successful, Zach?
Yet to know. It's installed the basics, but it's been a rigmarole. Brand new PC. You could run SpaceX off the friggin' thing, and Windows 11 just decides to corrupt itself. But nonetheless, not corrupted is this beautiful broadcasting room that we are in, Christopher Munro. Absolutely loving every moment of this. And 2025 is amongst us, ladies and gentlemen. So strap yourself in, because SimSational TV is going to go off like a fish sandwich in the desert sun this year. We are ready to rock and roll. And who better to join it with than myself and the man, the myth, the legend, the Super Mario wannabe right next to it, the moustache, Christopher Magnificent Munro. It's good to be with you, son.
I'll be mustaching all the questions here tonight, or must-asking all the questions here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The first one of which is the standings here. We've forgotten about what happened last year. It's been so long since we've been on break, but Jason McFadden is the man out in front on this round 3 circuit here. We've got, how many is that? 18 points in front of Brandon Pearce. Jake Buttigieg not far behind either. And then there's a little bit of a gap back there too. David Thornton, Nathan Higginson, and Lachlan Grant, and Rick Banachek as well. Oh, and James Bullock. Chuck all those guys under a blanket there from 4th to 8th. And then we got Dean Verrill and Dean Hanley. A couple of Deans round out the top 10, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop there with the man, the myth, the legend, Alex McEwen and Merv's Lovechild in 11th and 12th on equal points. So that's going to be fighting for sheep stations later on tonight. I can tell you what, Daniel Cicluna's involved in there, spewing Newing's back. The chef is well and truly up in the top 15 at the moment. Good on him. Funeral director in Ryan Nielsen, and Sandra's Lovechild, the second, sitting just in front of the captain in 18th place, 8 points between them. And you've got Andre Elliott and Thomas Wilson, the Houdini of AK Racing, Mr. Wilson, sitting there in 20th. He'll want to be on fire and singing some stage at this race tonight, but I don't know if he's in the server or not, so it's going to be bloody interesting to see where he is.
I haven't seen him in there, but you never know. He can turn up at the last minute, as he likes to do. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get down on track, hopefully soon. But where are we racing tonight, and for how many laps, Zach O'Reilly? We're a bit underdone here today, as I've spent the last week moving house, ladies and gentlemen, out there in SimSational land. So it's been a bit of a haphazard throw together of all things in my office, and as certainly the PC and the stream as well. So hopefully it all goes to plan tonight. Zach, what is happening in the racing department?
I'll tell you what, we've got a 40-minute qualifying session. First of all, we're at Barbagallo. Let's put it that way. We're at Barbagallo Raceway tonight, racing around in the classic V8 Supercars, and it's a rip-snorting event, that's for sure here. Barbagallo is sub 1 minute laps, Christopher Munro, but ladies and gentlemen at home, that means that it is all on for love and money within the racing department, that's for sure. We've got a 40-minute qualifying. It's going to be split into 2, so the racing times, or the practice server lap times, will determine the first and the second split, which means the fastest drivers are going to be in 1, and then the slower drivers are going to be in the second. So 40 minutes will be it, which is plenty of laps to get their eye in. I'll give you the hot tip there, but that'll be split into 18-minute sessions each. Give everyone else a chance to get back on track. Then finally, we've got 3 races tonight. Not 3 laps, 21 laps each in those 3 races, and that will be something to behold. Now, the format is a mystery in terms of reverse grids, starting grids, whatever, but we all know that could be what surprises all of the races tonight, Christopher. I'm excited for that. So that's what we've got coming up tonight here at SimSational TV Land. 2025 is a year for it, and where better to start than going back a couple of decades to the 90s, where the glory and the arrive on Sunday, buy on Monday was the racing terms for these race cars, Christopher. What a time to be alive.
Oh yeah, it was the good old days. There's no denying that at all. And when you get a glimpse of these cars out on track, you'll know exactly why. The nostalgia is strong here within the commentary box, and I'm sure it is out there in viewing land. Out there on YouTube, we've got 14 concurrents at the moment. That should hopefully get a bit larger as we get involved in some actual racing action. But just having a few troubles getting into the server. So as you can see, they are in the server currently doing some or getting ready to go qualifying. So we're gonna, as Zach said, we're gonna have the split qualifying. By the time we get in here, we might actually be able to jump straight down onto the track and see how these guys are getting about. No, the server has just ticked off. We've got here just in time, so we're going to go down to the track right now and see how these guys are faring. It's going to be, let's see, no one's even lining up yet at the end of the pit lane, and that is very unusual. You'd see usually a VS Commodore down there with the name Nick Mello written on the window, but it seems he might not have got the memo there to jump in the server. So these guys are all just slowly getting their way into the server now, and you'll see the one half of the field line up at the end of this pit lane, waiting for the magic number there, where the race director will say green, green, green for the qualifying pit lane. Oh, actually, someone's being told by the race director now to just go back to your pit box. So that is
that's
an EL.
Fergo.
Yeah, that's Fergo just being told to keep it in your pants, champ, and reverse back to your pit box and sort of follow orders like a good boy. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, who has been fastest during the week? I'm going to do a quick look at that, and Zach O'Reilly can talk us through who some of the threats are to take the win here tonight.
Well, look, we've got a couple. We've got a couple of newbies as well. Pettis and Rayner are two that really stand out tonight. So we'll see where they are on the grand scheme of things. But by the looks of it, the normal contenders are going to be there. Well, we're talking Nick Mallow. We're talking Thomas Wilson. We're talking Jason McFadden, our championship leader as well. He's got these cars well and truly tuned. I'll give you the hot tip. He's loving them at the moment. But doesn't count out anyone else. The Nathan Hughes might be up there as well. We've got Fazzari, who isn't shy as well for a bloody good battle here and there. So that's going to be good. Fergo will want to be up there too. Bernardo Rama and Rick Banachek. Yeah, I reckon that number 91 car should be up there in the top 10 this year. He's had plenty of time to get down and boogie and practice during the holidays. And I've been told that him and Rabs Warren have got together and done some mindset training for the event tonight. And he has got himself sponsored right there on the side there by the great man himself, and he has got it sideways there, has Mr. Banachek. So it's good to see him up there with the great himself, but I reckon that's where we will sit in the grand scheme of things for the top 5. Haven't seen Mr. McEwen line up as of yet, but that's going to be another thing we'll see on the grand scheme of things. But what are we going to see, viewers out there? You've got to give us something in the YouTube land. Our viewers, our dedicated viewers, always here ready to rock and roll. Thank you for turning up, you lot. You guys are the absolute cornerstone here of SimSational TV, and it's great to have you as well. Gearhead's in there. Walshy, we've also got Ron Marshall's in there. Don't worry about that. And all of our 16 viewers here at this point in time. Get fired up. Hopefully you got those drinks and bevs ready, and maybe the misso's just giving you a cup of tea to sit back and relax in that recliner and turn on the Canara. Or if you're in Victoria and Queensland at the moment, get the bloody AC pumping, because it is 40 degrees here at the moment here in Melbourne. Absolutely steaming its tits off at this point in time, and I've been sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage. I'll give you the hot tip.
I can feel that, mate. I'm out in the back room now in my new digs in the new SimSational broadcasting booth, and I'll tell you what, it's a little bit steamy out here tonight. It is hot as shit up here in Queensland, and anyone out there who lives in Queensland will know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's no fan, there's no AC. I'm just raw dogging it tonight. Nothing but action, nothing but me and a microphone. But here we go. We've got some movement here in the pit lane. It's an absolute charge of the light brigade. Look at that. And Nick Mello somehow come out on top. What are the chances of that?
Standard, absolute standard. He's out there already ready to go. And I'll tell you what, the great man in the Farmers Union Nice Coffee livery there, Nick Mallow, will be wanting to get on his horse very, very quickly because 58-second laps here, but a good session length. He'll get about 17 or 18 laps in, I reckon, here by the time he finishes it all. And that should be something to behold in the lap development department. Are we going to see some lap records broken here in the V8 Supercars Classic Series? We'll find out very, very shortly. But he's got Mr. Dostal right behind him. So Dostal trying to get some pointers off the great man in front of him. Just copying those lap times and those lines and apexes into the corner. What's he going to be able to do and produce during this qualifying session? Split quali, ladies and gentlemen, as we mentioned. So keep your hats on, wondering where your fan base is. They will probably be in the second go in the next 18 minutes or so. But if they're on track now, get your cheering hats on. Get ready to rock and roll here for qualifying. At Barbagallo, as Nick Mallow is making his way around the track at this point in time for his first hot lap, Christopher.
Yeah, he certainly is. We're just going to ride on board with him now. I'm just getting the new little graphics sorted out here at SimSational TV. As you can see there, the timing info there with Nick Mallow. It's got a live... Formula One style, and we've got a bit of live telemetry as well, so you can get a nice little insight into the inputs of these drivers. As you can see there, Nick Mallow very smooth on the throttle on the exit of turn 6. So this is a hot lap here, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Mallow coming around for the first time. He will stop the clock, and he's probably hoping about a 56. But it will be invalid by the looks of it. No, it's not. No. It's a 57.2, 57.3. Brandon Dostal just behind him as well. All these guys kicking it off here, and the times will start coming in thick and fast. Luke Newing goes up to third with Gaz Pozzi there up into fourth as well. So this is only half the field, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis Egmanis joins Luke Newing on the second row of the grid as well. So these guys only getting 15 minutes each. So that's actually heaps of time here in the sim racing land to get yourself out there and get a good lap, because they've got a bit of real estate out there for once. We're usually out here chirping on about how hard it is to find some clear air out there, but look at it, Curtis Egmanis. He's got an absolute just a barren wasteland in front of him. No cars to be seen, so he can just feed it as much as he wants, and he's fed it too much. And that will be that lap done for Egmanis. Back to the drawing board. Mello goes to 56.8 in the meantime.
Yep, done. Thank you very much. He's the first guy into the 56s. As we see, Stephen Warwick there just did a 57 dead right behind him. So It's going to be good. It's going to be close here, ladies and gentlemen. Only 4 tenths between second to third at this point in time, and then it's very close. You've got about 3 tenths split between third to fifth. In Bananarama, there he is, Rick Banachek, the man, the myth, the legend, sitting there. Spewy Newings going to get on his horse and get further up there. 1 second off the man Nick Mallow. That's not where he will want to be, but that Luke Newing black-esque car is looking very good, and Stephen Warwick's about to cross the line. He can't do any better. 3 tenths off his personal best there, so he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Luke Newing, however, he is up only a 15th over his best time at the moment, 57.8, so he's going to want to get further up the field. He's 5 tenths down over Nick Mallow, so that is interesting. That is interesting at this point in time. What can he do? He's found another 2 or 3 tenths there in the last sector alone onto the final back straight. He goes onto the pit straight, and he's going to cross the line doing a 56.568. So that pushes him up a little bit closer to the front, but still a good 7 tenths away from where he needs to be in terms of trying to get pole position of Nicholas Mallow.
Yeah, it's kind of a relaxed little environment here with the split qualifying. So each and every one of these drivers are going to have every chance to put their best foot forward and put a hot lap up there on the board. Try and get themselves up into the up into the top half of this field. Really is where they want to be. And these guys now get to, once they complete their lap and think that they're doing all right up there in the top 10, they get to sit back and watch the second half of these drivers. And I'll tell you what, looking at a few of these names down there, they're going to have their hands full, or it's certainly a nervous wait watching the rest of these guys go around, and hopefully not knocking them off the timing tower at all. But Luke Newing just goes up to third position at the moment. I'll tell you what, this bloke here, Stephen Warwick, the new bloke, I don't think he's raced with us before here at AK Racing. He's come out and set the timing towers alight. He's out here and he's up there challenging Nick Mallow for a pole position.
Yeah, very interesting to see, and you can see here on the on that little throttle trace and brake tracing graphic just how he gets it done too, and he's a bit off on this lap, but I reckon we study here because we've got a little bit of time. He's a good second off, so maybe just an outlap for him, but just brakes heavily coming into turn one and off completely. Now feeds the throttle ever so gently. Throttle's just, you can see that trace there, a bit jumpy. It needs to be a bit smoother than that to get on the power. If you can get that car pointed in nicely and just drift on the exit, you'll gain some time there. Still hard on the brakes, now on the throttle, and just feathering it. Look at the throttle tracing there, just dipping slightly and slowly up and down as we go. Full beans now, up to turn 6, I think this is, and it's looking very, very nice here for himself at this point in time. A bit down, ran a bit wide, had to carry that brake a lot later than he wanted to, and that's just that throttle trace that you're looking at there. He's lost a bit of time here, Steve Warwick. He put in an absolute rip snort over a lap there to start, but he's been 2 laps in a row, a good second away from Nick Mallow. So where is that going to put him in the grand scheme of things come to the actual race session? I'm not sure. Maybe he's just doing some race simulation laps here at this point in time.
Yeah, why not? They've got plenty of time to get out there and get comfortable. But Gearhead in the chats just let me know about a thing that I didn't even notice. It's pretty much all the Holdens are out there at the moment, and all the Fords are sitting in the pits. Did you notice that, Zach? I had no idea. So thank you for the observation, Gearhead. That is quite a good one.
That is a very good one. My lovely new computer here is not showing me the emblems out on the field, but that makes no sense because we've got Wilson and Marshall sitting there in 16th and 17th without any lap times, and they've got the red badge there. So maybe back to the drawing board there, Gearhead. Maybe just go down to Specsavers and get another prescription, my old son, or maybe a colourblind. I'm not too sure. But we love you anyway. I think this is going to be maybe something to do with splitting it into 3, Christopher, rather than having 2 by 18 or 19 cars out on the grid, considering the entry list tonight. Maybe we're going to see that. Who knows? It's all up to the man, the myth, the legend, sitting in the pits there doing absolutely nothing but running this league is Ryan Snooks himself.
Yeah. He's quite used to that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about that. The powers that be. Always pulling through late. But here's Curtis Egmanis in any stretch, just banging down the gears up into turn 7. Look at the body language of that car. Really nice and settled. It looks like the setup work has been done during the break there by Curtis. I remember he was pretty quick at Sydney Motorsport Park was the last time we saw him, and was on song for a top 5 in that round. I think just got a little bit unlucky and came together with one of the other drivers. But did you see him just drifting it around there at turn 4?
He's up.
Why not? Oh, geez, really aggressive too. Look at that. Almost a little snap there on the way down the hill. He's gone purple, ladies and gentlemen, in the first sector. That's what you want to see in your driving seat. He comes down into the dust bowl. It's all about getting on the power here smoothly. And look at that throttle trace. Wow, you can't get much smoother than that. But he's dropped about a tenth and a half to Mello going in that second sector. He's got it all to do here. He doesn't have too much to gain. Only 2 tenths will put him on pole. He just gets that rear end just squirted around that final turn. How's he going to stop the clock? It's 4 tenths down on Mello in the end. So really struggling in sector 2 and 3. There is Curtis Egmanis.
Well, look, when you see what he was doing in that final sector there, he was just feathering that throttle a little bit too much, lost the momentum, get a bit late on the brakes too, coming into the bottom sweeping right-hand hairpin, if you want to call it that. But that's where he was. But the Captain Kirk now trying to get on his bike. He's sitting in 5th at the moment. This is definitely an outlap. He's 1.8 seconds down at this point in time on Nick Mallow. What's he going to do? He's about to go into the pit, so he's out for now. Maybe this could be the final laps of qualifying coming our way. We're not too sure. Tom Wilson sitting in 6th place at this moment. Looking very nice. This will give you a good idea of how to throttle trace, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what he can do as he comes down, and you can see him shift down a gear, off the brake completely. Now, just easing on that throttle. Look at that. That is just like the stock exchange on a good day. Beautifully upscaled, and that is what we want to see. Just feathering the throttle just to not get any oversteer, because even though you slide that car around that exit, it actually loses you time. So just gaining traction keeps you in the loop. And look at that. Just another beautiful ease onto the throttle. He's not too far off, but he's going to go for a full hot lap as we come into this final lap here. I reckon for him, as 35 seconds ticks down, this could be Tom Wilson's final chance to get himself, if my prediction is correct, of a three-way split qualifying, to get himself onto the top row some way. Can he do it? Only going to find out in 59 seconds.
Oh, let's go. Let's ride on board, actually, and just see how he does it. Let's see if we can get an actual... There we go. An in-game sneak peek of what these drivers see out the front window there. Thomas Wilson going up through turn 3 and 4 into turn 4 now. That's the perfect line, just coming off the apex there mid-corner to duck it back in and make it a bit of a double apex affair through that turn 4. Then you can shoot yourself down up through the kink, down the hill here into turn 6. That's a very nice line as well. Just maybe dealing with a bit of understeer there on power. You just want that back end to be coming around just a little bit more fast for my liking, but it seems like a pretty good lap so far here for Wilso. He was down on Mello in the second sector, but can he improve here in the third to get himself up a little bit further up the tree than 7th? He's going to go up to 6th here, just knocked Spanacek off his perch there in 7th position.
And there we go. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. We have got the end of part 1 of qualifying. Out of 2 or 3, not too sure, coming your way, but these guys are rocking and rolling. Tom Wilson's exited the server, so that's it, done on 1. Has Nick Mallow made his way around just before the timer ticked down? I don't think so. He's just circling around one more time here, Daft Punk style, and he's just a little bit down on his own personal best. Maybe going for an absolute hero lap here. Can he get it done? No, he's on the slide there coming into that final turn, but he's lost just a touch there. He's got 2 tenths to make up here to get himself further up where he wants to be in terms of a lap time, because 56.8 has not been knocked off for the whole session. He's only a 10th down, ladies and gentlemen, so that is okay overall. You can see on both timing towers showing yellow, which means he is off on his personal best, because he is the top runner here at the moment. Can he get it done? No, he won't be able to. He's at 1.5 tenths down by the time he crosses the line here, and we'll see what he does. 1.149, nearly 1.5 tenths. And that is Nick Mellow's session done and won for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Now it is time for the Blue Badgers to come out and see what they can do in this qualifying session. I believe this is going to have to... It's probably just going to be a 2-group qualifying session. If I can see how many we've got in the server right now. Let's have a quick squiz. We've got 34. Okay. Well, maybe we are going a 3-way. Who knows? These guys just making up the rules as they go, but that's how they do it here, ladies and gentlemen, in the sim racing world. You got to adapt. You have to roll with the punches, and try and deal with 35 cars around Barbagallo. It's not the easiest thing to do. Don't you worry about that. But here we go. It is now time for... No, the final 2 Holdens on the grid have just come out of the pits. That's interesting. Who knows? In my professional opinion, I've got no idea what the hell's going on.
Who the hell cares? We've got cars out on track. That's what racing's all about. We're going to see what we can do. Captain Kirk's still circulating around here at the moment, so why not, mate? You might as well get it done. He's 2 tenths off where he was supposed to be in his personal best sector, so don't worry about him. He's flying around at this point in time, just getting laps in whenever he can. The other 2 Holdens that have decided to get themselves out on track, I believe, is Zach Scowen. No, it wouldn't be. It would be one Jesse Marshall. And I reckon Jay Peterson's not there as well. Can't figure out who's out there and who's not, but Jesse Marshall definitely was one who just left and exited the server. So, what's the Marshall man going to do, Ron? Get your son into the comms, give him some pointers, give him some tips. You are the chief engineer. Tell him how to set that car up, because he's going to get on the song and straight to it here for round 2 and the first one of 2025 here at the V8 Supercar Land. What can Jesse Marshall do, Christopher?
Yeah, hopefully get himself up a bit more the order there than 11th. I don't think he'd be very happy with that so far. These guys, mind you, have all had about a month to practice this track, so it's been no secret what circuit is coming up after the break. So these guys have had immense amount of time to put the practice laps in and get that setup all sorted out. And to be honest, all these cars look fairly planted as well. So I think the work has gone in the engineering side to get these cars nice and set up for qualifying, especially here, because it's one of those tracks that's really hard to overtake at. Despite it produces great racing, don't get me wrong, but it's usually it sort of goes hand in hand with a track that is difficult to overtake. That makes sense, doesn't it? If it's hard to overtake, it means good racing. And I think that's what Barbagallo seems to serve up every year. But I tell you what, if you want to do your overtaking, get it done in qualifying, because you get that track position, and that is paramount around these tiny little Australian circuits.
Yeah, that is definitely paramount. Now we're going to have some issues here coming to the final standings on the timing tower there of who is where, because Nick Mellon's just left the server.
Yeah.
So these guys who have qualified are dropping out like flies, and we're watching the rest of them come through. But I know Jesse Marshall 100% got himself up into ninth place there before those two exited the server. So that is provisionally where he is at this moment. So look out for him. He's running a bit wide there. He was up 2 on his personal best, Jesse. Oh, geez, you'd be spewing if that was him at the moment, but he's not going to cross the line and do any better for himself. 57.978, and Dostal's gone with a 57.06 straight near Nick Mallow too. That's bumped off Stephen Warwick off the top step. No, Nick Mallow's come back into serve. There we go. We've got some order back here on the racing circuit. But Dostal's not far off. He has knocked Warwick off the top row of that grid at this point in time. That's going to be awesome to see here, and I reckon he will be very, very happy at this point in time. Will Stephen Warwick, and so will the man, the myth, the legend, who's just exited the server in Mr. Dostal. He's just done one lap and said, "That's it, on my way out, son."
Easy done. Yeah, no messing about there for the man. So he's got better things to do. Just probably go out for a quick smoke and a little bit of whatever else these guys do in their spare time. But here we go. Now we've got 18 minutes left on the clock, and it's time for the Blue Badgers to come out of the pits. And it was kind of strange that Marshall and who else was it? Wilson were both just sitting in the pits for so long. So that's probably got something to do with the fact that they are a bit down the order. So didn't get as much in. Who we got here? Mr. Walshy in the chat says 2, 3, and 4, all from ASR, Australian Sim Racing. Okay, so the boys have jumped the fence over there from, I guess they do AMS over there, I'm pretty sure, Automobilista. Yes, so they've come to check out what Assetto Corsa has to offer. So let's see if they stay 2, 3, and 4 after the Fords are done. I suspect they will be kicked down the order just a little bit. Just a little bit, but there are the fast guys now. So I think it was David Thornton was the quickest during the week.
Yes, he was, and he absolutely dominated. Yeah. So that guy is going to be very, very quick tonight in that Ford Falcon. We are going to be out at the 15-minute mark, so we have got 2 minutes and 32 seconds of absolute nonsense to talk about in the meantime. And I reckon, Christopher, with the blue ovals coming through, it's time to have a look at these liveries. And as we go through the pack, they're all just ready to go. AK Racing represent there at the front for PSO. He's ready to rock and roll. Then we've got the Greens Tough livery there too. That is sick. That is the Dick Johnson inspired livery. Petrogas as well. All EL Falcons sitting for the top 3 to get out and about there in the racing department. Then it's super cheap auto. Revolution race gear as well with Rayner. And I'll tell you what, it's looking very, very spicy for the rest of them. We've got cars, colours, everything you want there, Christopher. Have a look at them. It's like the colours of the rainbow have just come back. The green-eyed monsters there ready to go as well.
Oh,
it's
how good is
AUs versus ELs, and this will be something to behold. I can tell you that. I'm excited.
Yeah, go and get your blue hat or your red hat on, whatever you prefer at home, viewers. Cheer on your favourite manufacturer. I'll be cheering on none of these guys.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, you got to be impartial in the commentary box and just talk facts and call it how you see it. So there'll be no favouritism here, certainly in my seat. But you can't beat the AU Falcon. I'm just going to say it right there. That is a masterwork in engineering and design. That married up with 100% just beauty all around. So I'll just see myself out to the bathroom. I'll be back in just a moment.
Incredible stuff. Well, incredible. 53 seconds to go, and it's anyone's bet. These guys are all quick. As you said, Dave Thornton's coming out in this list. We've got Jason McFadden out there too, the championship leader. Brandon Pierce is just backing himself up, just being too eager to go out.
Yeah.
And then putting himself back where he was, so bugger him. Pedersen, Rayner, Fazzari as well is in there too. Fergo, Hanley, geez, Dean Hanley could definitely be up in there. He's going to be in the prodigy of the Zed O'Reilly coaching department this year. I can guarantee you that on the driver style. Look out for him. We've got the president or the old Prime Minister, Mr. Goff, there sitting in 26 as well. It's good to see him around. He's just come back from the dead and decided to put himself on the grid. Jimmy Park, the elder statesman, as well, sitting there. And the funeral director himself, Mr. Nielsen, is sitting in 25th at this moment with 4 seconds to go. We are about ready to rock and roll here, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Pearce is going to lead the way out, and he is on song here at this moment. Going to see what all these guys can do. Look at those blue ovals just stream out. We've got ELs, we've got AUs, all having a good rip-snorting go at each other here. We've got liveries from different eras. We have got made liveries. We've got sponsored liveries. We've got everything. We've got Russell Ingall, then Marcus Ambrose right behind it there. I can't see what that one was. That was Rangout, I'm pretty sure. Orcon Steel. Ford Credit as well. Wow, look at them all go out. And these guys have probably got a little bit more gentlemanly like about them, I would say, in the racing department, the blue oval guys versus the red Holdens. They've got the red mist all over their badges and all around the track as well, because they'll be seeing that. And these guys are racing already. I'll tell you what, no prisoners taken or given here at Barbagallo. This is awesome to see. And Brandon Pearce has given up the purse to Mr. Ferguson, and Fergo said Buggy is all. The English Scottishman himself is having a rip snorter. We'll ride on board with him, Christopher Munro, for the first lap. I reckon it's your turn to take it away.
All right, let's go. We're going to dip it down into second gear. It's probably ideal here for turn one. There's a few ways you can take this turn as well, but it looks like Ferguson opts for the just hugging the inside line, clattering across these couple of what are they called? Bloody curbs, mate. Jeez, it's back. It's been a bit of a break here, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 4, again opting for the inside line, flat to the 4 through. Turn 5, as you can see, just a slight little lift there in the telemetry. Down into turn 6, a really wide line, looking to cut this back up the hill with all the gusto that Ferguson can sum up here at Barbagallo. It's one of his favourite tracks, ladies and gentlemen. I was witness to this a couple of years ago. Absolutely demolished the field over there at Velocity Racing. Turned up in a V8 supercar and absolutely smashed him. And he said, that'll do. That's the last race I'll ever race there. Turned up and pretty much just retired on the day. But there goes Ferguson to 7th position there with a 57.4. Very well done indeed.
Well, good on him. That's a great start for him, and he's the quickest of the bunch so far because no one else has been able to go quicker with him with a blue oval. Even McFadden hasn't been able to pip him there either in 8th place. So Fergo on the march. He's probably trying to emulate that VRL session and just turn up once, see you later, and that's it for the rest of the session. But I know that Fergo will be around here at 8K Racing. That's for sure. It's good to see Grilly in the chat there as well, spewing Newing in the Mr. Drifter air balloon. And Jesse Marshall was on fishing watch there as well when he was doing his last lap there. Chris ran completely wide and stuffed it up. He was just imagining that big barramundi he caught, I reckon, off Cape Shank. And just said, buggy is all, I'm taking the chockies, but then completely stuffed it up. What can Pearso do here, though? He is riding around into the final turn. What will this guy be able to manage? He's way off the pace. He's going to start his perfect hot lap here in the Pearso department. The magician, we call him here, if you're new in the SimSational TV racing land, because sometimes he can pull magic and other times his magic tricks go over like a wrought iron hang glider and he finds himself at the back of the grid at any time, can Pearso. But we love him here in the com box.
Wrought iron hang glider. I've heard it all now, ladies and gentlemen. What a call. Very nicely done. Ferguson and Thornton now both joining the speedy boys up there at the pointy end of the field. Ferguson off the front row, currently only 38 hundredths of a second there. Wow, very close there, Ferguson, and plenty of time to make that time up and maybe get himself on pole. Geez, I'll be able to hear the festivities down the road here from Ferguson. I only live a couple of streets over. Yeah, I might be able to hear it, dead set. But Thornton there on a bit of a hot lap as well. He's gone green in the first sector. Sector 2 has just been locked out. I don't know who. There goes Fergo. Bang. 56.8 straight to the top of the timing tower. Thank you very much. So he doesn't have to worry about Nick Mello knocking him off. He has to worry about this bloke here. Thornton just crosses the line there with what is that? A 57 dead. And there goes McFadden joining them as well. So 3 of the 4 top spots now currently occupied by Ford Falcons.
Jeez Louise and a packet of peas. I'll tell you what, the Blue Oval are on song here tonight. Nick Mallow's got his hands full. He'll be dead set shitting himself, Nick Mallow, seeing all those blue ovals right behind him and in front of him at the moment, because that's exactly where Fergo's going to be. He's going to get the jump on him there, but Andre Elliott is now flying around too. Beautiful rang out livery there from the guys himself, McFadden and Dean Hanley representing the Ranging Out boys tonight, and he's not far off. He's only a tenth and a half at this moment. If he can stick it all together, he's going to bump himself up into top 5 position here over Mr. Dostal as well. So Dostal thought he was in with the chockies there and absolutely got yeeted completely out. So we'll see what can happen. Thornton's gone. Oh, geez, only 7 thousandths of a second between himself and Ferguson. Holy mackerel, that is tight as you want to get. Nick Mallow sitting there watching his places disappear. He thought he was on for a triple threat tonight. Not happening. Andre Elliott's doing his personal best here too, so we're going to see where he can put himself to. I reckon he's going to put himself with, obviously, inside the top 10, but how far up can he go? Bang! Over the line, and it is nothing because he completely stuffed it up in the final sector, and he's absolutely ruined my call. So bugger you, Andre Elliott. The next grid is Williams, Sandra, whoever's love child in Will Bullock himself. James Bullock, sorry.
One of the guys who I've got plenty of time for. This fella here. He's
me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and James Bullock. But look, he's just drifted it down into turn 6. That is going to be the end of that lap for sure. So back to the drawing board for James Bullock. We're looking up the field for some purple action. Jason McFadden's gone purple in the second sector, ladies and gents. It is not showing up on that timing tower, but it is the third sector, should I say. A 56.819 straight to the top.
Wow, hey, this is close. Have a look at the gaps between them all. We haven't even got a tenth between first to fourth at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is spicing up nicely. Tell you what, we've missed the old dodgy Curry Vindaloos over the summer break, and they're giving us back here at the moment. The Royal Dalton's going to get plastered if these guys keep going tonight, because these guys are hot on the collar. Very spicy at the top, I'll tell you what. Nathan Hughes is doing very well, mind you. He's only a tenth off pole position, and he finds himself on the third row of the grid. Well, what do? That's how close it is here at Barbagallo. Under minute laps gives you the closest qualifying times, and can these guys keep it together here over the race periods tonight? 3 by 21 laps, anything's going to happen. We're going to have some definite blue flag incidents coming our way, I can guarantee you. But Hughesy will want to keep himself up in that top 5 and hang on the back of them. He's not on song at this rate for a lap at the moment, but don't you worry about that. He will come back here for another banker lap as he just does 6 tenths off his personal best. Time to go back to the hot lap sector. What is Andre Elliott doing here, Christopher? What is Dean Hanley doing, actually? Our bloody director's absolutely on the piss tonight.
He clicked the wrong button there, but here he is. Dean Hanley for SDT Special Driver Training out there in the number 55. He's just peeling off into the pits as well, so not happy with that lap, not happy with the setup perhaps, going in to let the mechanics know what is the problem and how can they fix it. They've got 7 minutes to fix it, so plenty of work done there for those guys. Andre Elliott still just battling away up here, all yellow in the sector department. Let's go down here and find some debutantes, ladies and gentlemen. If my mouse would work, that'd be great. But Andre Elliott at the time being is coming up on some lap traffic. That's Bill Cosmo going slowly on the racing line, so that's probably not ideal. There's another car off the track there kicking up all sorts of dust as well into the eyes of these guys. But Andre Elliott's not going to improve this lap. Look at the gaps, ladies and gentlemen. Even down to 20.
It's not even a second.
Even down to 25th. It's 1.4 seconds covers 25 cars.
That's incredible.
That's absolutely insane. But Ryan Nielsen, we haven't called his name tonight. One of the, well, let's say he's probably the quicker Nielsen. Him and Alan are always having a good old battle here. The brothers Grimm of Ryan Nielsen. Is he going to cross the line and go quicker? He's got a beat. No, he's gone half a second slower than McFadden, who currently sits on pole position. Who's going to knock him off? Is it going to be Fergo? Not this time around. Is it going to be Thornton? Maybe. He's gone quicker in the second sector. Can he knock him off here in the third? It's not going to happen. It's a slow lap by his standards. So who's going to be the one, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat? Get your predictions in. Who's going to take pole position here? It could be anyone from the top, obviously the top 3 because they're circulating at the moment. Andre Elliott's the next man with Hanley, Nielsen and Pearce all making out Falcon friendliness up there in the top 10.
I'll tell you what, Dave Thornton will be, his pants will be as rock hard as his sponsor at this point in time, Walk on Steel. Oh, not if he does
Jesus.
that. He's absolutely overcooked it and absolutely melted that 4x2 steel and slapped it in there. Hopefully that's a hardware issue for Thornton or maybe a connection issue if we can get that sorted before the end of the session. But geez Louise, Fergo's got his work cut out for him at this point in time. He is absolutely dancing with death in second place because Thornton's only a little bit off him, and even the guys between him and Andre Elliott are the only guys going to threat him. Can Fergo survive there in second place and keep that top two? Because I reckon at that point maybe one firework will go off per place inside the top 10 for Fergo tonight. And if it's a podium, we won't be hearing from Chris Munro once the race ends. He'll be off and down the road to party with Andrew Ferguson, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll get him to take me on some hot laps down to Surface Paradise in his little RS3 or whatever he's got.
He's up here too,
yeah,
Fergo.
He is. Yeah, let's go. Let's cheer him on, ladies and gentlemen. Fergo looking for his first pole position here in the Classic V8 Supercars series, or perhaps any other series here at AK Racing as well. So he has found himself right up there in the pointy end of business, and he is up now, ladies and gentlemen, on Brian McFadden's cousin here in the second sector. What can he do around? He's got one more turn to make it happen. Oh, he's just teetering on the edge. Needs more horsepower. It's not going to happen this time, but Jesus Christ, it's close.
You can't get any more consistent than that, ladies and gentlemen. Only 8 thousandths off his personal best there for that lap. And that is consistency. That's what you want here around Barbagallo. That's going to be your best friend come race time. But Dean Hanley's doing well as well. So he's 2/10 off P1 at Jason McFadden, but he's under a tenth away from knocking him off, which actually could catapult him further up the grid over into Nick Mellow's territory. If he can nail this second sector coming his way, that throttle trace looked very, very nice there on the Delta, but he's 0.129 off, and that is not going to be enough. He'll probably stick himself in fifth, only be it by a margin of absolute B's members kind of gappage, but we'll see what happens in the grand scheme of things. He's just got it on the edge, 55, 56, 57, dead over the line. No, absolutely stuffed it into the last corner. Did Hanley. The red mist got in front of him over the blue, and that's not going to help him. Pearso, however, just was about to do a very, very nice lap and stuffed it up coming into that final corner. But can he? No, he can't. He's absolutely done his dog's dinner there for this lap. He's going to go again. He's got 3 minutes to go, so 3 hot laps coming Brandon Pearce's way. Hopefully he's got the fuel ready to go, because these cars, Christopher Munro, give you your best lap times on about lap 3. So Brandon Pearce is out fresh. He's got 2 laps before those tyres decide to gallop off into the distance of perfect tread land.
Yeah, right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've got the driver's eye there in the comments. You get your best performance out of these tyres at about lap 2 and 3, maybe 3 and 4. So it all comes down to how these guys set themselves up for that one hot lap. It's kind of like a top 10 shootout where you're not going to have the grip to compete for the top prize on those couple of outlaps. So you really have to sort of bring those tyres into the working range, and really just go for all on that final push on lap 3 or 4. So it's an interesting strategy, but I'm sure all these guys in the top 10 are aware of when the grip comes on in these tyres as well. So might get differing strategies, or probably all just doing the same thing, just warming themselves into that one final push on the go. But look at that, David Thornton's just gone bang and taken pole position with 1:43 to go.
That is incredible stuff there from David Thornton. 56.694, if you don't mind. Takes the chockies by a good 10th and a half over Jason McFadden in second place. So he is definitely as hard as the Auckland Steel would be, coming straight out of the burner there at this point in time. The joggers will be stretched, and maybe the blood needs to rush to his head to get another lap in. See if he can do another better personal best lap coming up, because with 1:17 to go, his last lap is coming our way. Can David Thornton even PB himself and just purple himself again, Lewis Hamilton style? We'll find out. But he is on song and looking to take the chockies here. McFadden's got something to work for here in that championship battle. It's 1 and 2 here for Ford. 1, 2 and 3, in fact, And Nick Mallow is the first Holden up till 7th place. So look out for those guys.
McFadden is currently up now, purple in the first 2 sectors, although it doesn't show it on the graphic. He's about to go on pole here, ladies and gentlemen, and by a fair whack too. It's going to be about a 10th in it. Here goes McFadden, goes bang, straight to the top of the timing tower, 56.5. Yeah, hey.
Now we're talking.
Now the ball's in your court, David Thornton, and he goes purple as well. It's all happening here at Barbagallo.
Here goes Thornton. Can he get it done here for the final 32 seconds of the lap? What is Thornton going to be able to produce? Has he got the momentum up the hill? No, he hasn't. Now McFadden's going to take the P1. I reckon here in qualifying, Thornton is a 10th and a half down here. Can he pull some miracle out of his hat at this point in time, Brandon Pierce style, in the final corner? I don't think he can. McFadden is going to take P1. Fergo's just gone over the line again and PB'd himself, but Thornton is going to stick himself in second place. McFadden has got the chockies. What is McFadden doing? Is he PBing himself? No, he knows he's got the chockies here at this point in time, I would say. And well done to our championship leader here, taking out qualifying over again. Welcome to 2025. Jason McFadden, our inaugural pole position guy for the first race of the season and the one of AK Racing here at SimSational TV. Hats off to your son. That was absolutely fantastic. And well done to Fergo, Thornton, and Nick Mallow. Nick Mallow stuck for another 26 cars before he could get his lap time pipped. So watch out for him come race time as well.
Yeah, and he's typically faster in race trim than he is in qualifying. So watch out for that little battle up the front. But this is the man of the moment here. Jason McFadden pulls into his pit box and keeps the trend going of just success in this classic V8 Supercars series. He is the championship leader, and he is the championship leader for a reason, and that is why, ladies and gents, just ice in his veins, coming up with the goods when it is most needed, and that was in the final lap of his qualifying journey. Well done to him. Well done to the Rangiart team. 21 laps coming up, Zach O'Reilly. This is going to be, well, it's going to be awesome. And it always is here at Barbagallo. We've got 35 cars, all separated by about a second and a half. So, well, what else could you want here in early here in 2025?
Maybe a leg rollover session at the end of the night, Christopher. That's maybe what we could want as well.
That's what we all want, don't we?
We all want that. But Jason McFadden takes out P1, David Thornton P2, and Andrew Ferguson, your top three. For qualifying to start 2025 off with an absolute bang. That's a podium in Fergo's books. He's already partying tonight. Don't worry about that. Nick Mallow and Nathan Hughes, 4th and 5th. So Nathan Hughes off the 3rd row with Andre Elliott right next to him. And Dean Hanley and Dostal, 7th and 8th with Warwick. And Egg Marnus, the cracked egg himself, the scrambler, in 10th place. That's a great showing from him. Spewing Newing, 11th place. Captain, 12th. Tommy Wilson, 13th. He's got some practice to do as well. Pearso, 14th. And the two Nielsen brothers, as Christopher said before, 15th and 16th. Who is the quickest? It was definitely Ryan there by a 10th and a half. Banachek, 17th, and Scowen, Simmons, and Bullock round out your top 20.
Well, who we got next? We've got Nathan Higginson down there in 21st position. James Peterson with Harrison Rayner, one of the newcomers here behind him. Clint Goff in 24th. William Bullock, followed by Jesse Marshall, Ryan Snooks. Gaz Pozzie's out there, one of the new guys as well. Good luck to him. Ian O'Brien, Alex Fazzari in 30th position. J Park. It's not Jimmy Park. It's another Park. It could be Junior Park. We don't know. He's a newcomer to the series. Braden Moore with Bill Cosmo, Alex Fiari, and Sarge Illich round out your field of 35 classic V8 Supercars. What a trip down memory lane. I'll give you I'll tell you what a series, and what a bunch of cars, what mods, I've run out of superlatives.
Chris is absolutely cleaning his pants talking about the rest of it. He's about to go to the toilet. Get some toilet paper out, my son. But that is what you want. That is qualifying done, dusted, and won, ladies and gentlemen. You know what to do. I reckon it's time to cross to the break here with Chris's favourite car in the song itself, AU Falcon. But we'll be back here at SimSational TV for race 1 of 2025. Round 2, though, however, here in the Classic V8 Supercar Series here at AK Racing. So you know what to do. Go get those condiments ready. Go get comfortable. Get the Canara or the air conditioner fired up. And we'll be back here for race 1. 21 laps coming your way here at Barbagallo. Don't go anywhere.
Good day, ladies and gents. Excuse me very much.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's the trials and tribulations of getting older. Zach O'Reilly, you just start making noises that you never used to.
Well, they're like dad noises. They're just called dad noises.
Yes.
If you know what Family Guy is out there, ladies and gentlemen, you'll just do the Peter Griffin, search it up, dad noises compilation, and you will absolutely know what Chris is on about there.
Yep.
But with all that being said and done, the racing is not too far away, that's for sure. And that grid at the moment is looking nothing like a race grid. We've got 28 seconds to count down, so don't stress about that. Everyone in the chat's getting involved, though, boyos. Thank you very much. We've got Pearso for poll, said Braden Moore. Braden Moore, you dickiot. You absolute dick. You didn't even start to load your setup for the whole qualifying session. I'll tell you what, mate, the last thing you need at this point in time is anything but a serve, so I'll let you go for that one. But everyone else, welcome, and hopefully you guys in the chat there are ready to go. Good to see Mr. Walsh in there as well. It's good to have all of our viewers, 20-odd, sitting around ready to rock and roll 4 minutes before race countdown. It is myself and Christopher Munro sitting in the commentary box as always, and that is who you are listening to right now is Zach O'Reilly. The better voice of the two is Christopher Munro. I've been told that wives of the people out there decide to tell their husbands to turn off the sim when I'm talking, but tell you what, that's their loss because they're missing out on some absolute commentary gold if they do not listen to Christopher and I talk about racing and commentate the action. Speaking of action, Chris, this is a grid that we want to see. Have a look at that. All colours of the rainbow. And it is a Ford-dominated 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, it is. The Blue Badge getting the top 3 jockeys there and pretty much most of the top 10 as well. We'll go through. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, look, it's 6 out of 10. 60% for, yeah, it's almost, it's a bit better than 2 out of 3. 6 out of 10.
2/3.
Well, yeah, oh, look, 2/3 full, who knows? 2 in the hand, better than 1 in the bush. Or is that's not the saying, is it? It's 1 in the hand, 2 in the bush. Anyway, back to
One
English
bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
2 in the
Pretty
bush.
sure it's what we were trying to get out. There you
Yes,
go.
I think that's the one. Yeah, I still don't quite understand that saying, but I'll tell you what, it'd be Jason McFadden would be happy to take 1 from the bush tonight if he could just get the start off David Thornton. And the way Barbagallo is set up, we'll get a little look see here as well. We'll get a little bit closer to the action. As you can see, pole position is over there on the right hand side, so they're starting on the outside, and there's no advantage there either. They're both lined up completely next to each other. So David Thornton has got the advantage of the inside line coming down into turn 1. But the way this track sort of folds back on itself means that you can pretty much hang it around the outside there for if you're Jason McFadden and have the inside run up the hill there through turn 2 and 3 into that diving sort of sweeping turn there at turn 4. So you might see both of these guys pretty much side by side up until turn 4, where Jason McFadden might just get his nose back up in front. But I mean, that's a bold prediction. Anything could happen. Someone could come from the back and play a bit of bowling into turn 1. Who knows?
Well, I hope we've got the strike graphic ready to go
I do,
there.
yep.
And I reckon we could be on with that for a couple of times tonight. We're going to have Champ Street afterwards as well, ladies and gentlemen. Who's the worst on ground is Champ Street, so look out for that. Yep. Stick around for that as well. But this racing, 21 laps by 3 races, it's going to be anyone's bet. Who's going to take all the chockies? Is Jason McFadden going to keep his trend going? Or is Dave Thornton just going to give him an absolute rip snort of a battle and tear him a new one and show him who the real boss is in town? Our fellow Commonwealth compatriots over at the ditch there is David Thornton representing England and doing a very, very good job at that. But he can have a hot head. That guy could be as hot as the weather out there. It looks like it's very sunny and steamy and sweaty in the grand scheme of things there at Barbagallo. And it's going to be awesome. I'll tell you what, Christopher. Who's going to take out the chockies? Give us your predictions in chat because we are nearly ready to go lights out and racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Give us them all in the chat there. Ron Marshall, where's your son going to go? And Jesse. And I reckon my prediction here for the top 3 will be it'll be a 1 Thornton, 2 Mr. McFadden, and then 3 Nick Mallow.
That's a pretty bold prediction there, Cotton. All in the top 5. So we're going to find out in 21 laps time if any of these predictions are true. But until we get there, there's going to be action aplenty because all the lights are ready to go and we are just about set for a start. We are racing, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time here in 2025 in the Classic V8 Supercars. And look at the start from David Thornton. He'll just slide up into the lead here, into turn one. Nick Mello just getting up the inside of Ferguson as well back there. So those two guys are going to just settle in side, single file here at the moment. The only one here is Husey, just sort of getting hung out to dry there, but he just ducks in back behind Curtis Egmanis, and he's got Will Kirk giving him the hurry up as well. Brandon Pierce going around the outside of Steve Warwick, and Thomas Wilson chiming in behind him as well. Luke Newing, we're going to ride on board with him because he's got quite a few here of these two guys battling down the hill. That is Wilson on the outside, as you can see. Pierce just diving up the inside. Oh, very close. Maybe a little exchange of paint, but nothing to worry about. Those two guys are going to go side by side up the main straight. Pierce just ducks in behind to get a bit of that slipstream. There's not much to be had out here in Western Australia, ladies and gentlemen. It's the shortest straight of any of all the V8 Supercars circuits that we travel to. And Thornton leads through the first lap, and by a bit of a margin too.
Yeah, definitely. 6/10 already over Mr. McFadden there, Brian's cousin, in the top two. He's 9 times a millionaire at the moment, is McFadden. What can Husey do? He slid down a little bit there in the grand scheme of things, but he'll be on song. That AU Falcon from Geelong Automatics looking very, very sharp indeed. He has got, I think that's Ryan Snooks' bloody livery, if you don't mind me saying it. Maybe it's not, but who knows. He is sitting there in top 10 at the moment. He'll be happy. Heather Hughes, hopefully you're watching out there somewhere well and in good health too, because your son is cruising around the outside the top 10, and I reckon he's going to get a position here because that is a Castrol Holden of the captain going completely wide, and now Hughes is going to get a bit of side drafting action here. He's going to have the momentum, and he is going to take P9 here off the captain because that was an unforced error from the captain. Hung himself out too far to dry. Is Hughes going to dive it down the inside? Oh, they're equal on the brakes there. Side by side into the final turn. No, captain goes around the outside. Battlestar Galactica and says, I'm taking it to light speed and keeping that ninth position over Nathan Hughes. Wow, this is still tight. There's only a good 8 or 9 tenths between the top three in terms of gappage. And then behind them, that mid-pack is very, very snug indeed. Absolutely as snug as your nan's homemade woolen jumper.
What a memory to have that. I sit on my woolen jumpers all the time and very comfortable indeed. Zach Scowen now on the back of Ryan Nielsen. And he, in turn, is on the back of his brother, Alan Nielsen, in front. So Dostal's, just dropping down the order. Brandon Dostal has come a gutter somewhere and is disconnected from the server. That is not very good for the ASR boys out here in trying the hand at AK Racing. So he has come a gutter somewhere. But Luke Newing now all over the back of Steve Warwick. He's going to have a little look up the inside, at least showing the nose, modulating the brake to get right up underneath that rear wing of the VX Commodore in front of him, but has to settle in for 12th position at the moment. Steve Warwick, a handy driver indeed. I've seen his name around the traps for many years, but looks like he's jumped into the pits here, has Steve Warwick. That's an interesting, very interesting tactic, seeing as there is no pit stop required here at Barbagallo. 21 laps. Wowee, that's an interesting development there, Zachary.
Maybe a jump start penalty.
Ooh.
Maybe a hardware issue.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
What's going on there? But there's 2 people in the pits at the moment sitting there as well. I'm pretty sure that is Dostal in the pits also. Yeah. Moving nowhere in. Now he's just got in. So, or maybe even a fuel issue too. Maybe something to do with fuel.
Loaded the wrong setup.
Maybe load the wrong setup. That could be another one as well. So it's all happening to everyone in sim racing land, and it's never over until that checkered flag is waved. If I can be not dyslexic, that would be great. But Tayo Suman sitting there in 17th place at the moment. Good to see Turkey back. The old Turkey baster himself. He's back and circulating around. He's got no excuses now. He can't say the Gen 2 supercars are an absolute dog to drive, because these cars are as easy as driving a car blindfolded at 10k an hour up your driveway, I reckon. But they produce great racing, and Simmons should be up there sometime soon with a bit more practice in 17th place and not sliding around Matt Cotter style like he just did there, because James Bullock is up behind him and giving him all the beans at this point in time. We're right on board with Bullock, and he is now having a good look. He's going to see if Turkey just goes a bit wide under brakes coming into the hairpin. Shallow entry for both of them. Bullock's got on the eggs too quickly, nearly banana skin style, lost it on the entrance, but it's given him a little bit of a delta between himself and Turks. But the 2 guys in front of him, Banachek and Scowen are also battling very, very hard. And this is going to bring these two guys into that battle. What's Banachek going to do? Try and go up the inside. VS versus VX. He can get it done, can Banachek. But now, here goes Zach Scowen, and here comes Taylor Simmons. He is looking up the back of these guys and giving a good hot tip. We are down to the second last furlong, into the last one now. Who's going to take it into turn one? Oh, that was insane around the outside. Pace there for Scowen over Banachek. Can he keep it together, Zach Scowen? He can. Banachek side by side, but he's going to be on the disadvantage line. And that is P16 fought over once more within a lap time between these two. That is great racing between the both of them. Just found the absolute grip edge around the outside. Did Mr. Scowen. I reckon that's something to go off. And here goes Mallow too. He's having a good crack here on Fergo, because Fergo's got him and said, I'll take P3 off here. And he's still going to have the chockies here, I reckon, Fergo. If he can just keep it, stick it fat under brakes, go dive deep, son. Dive deep. Can he get it done? They both give each other beautiful room. But Nick Mallow's taken over the chockies there. Once again, Fergo had the advantage and then lost it all of a sudden. At least an unforced error there, I reckon, there for Nick Mallow. Just took that place away from him, but he got it back just as quickly as he lost it.
Yeah, I've been keeping one eye on this battle. It's been about this kind of teetering on the 3/10, 2/10, 1/10, depending on where they are around the track. So that will be a battle that will just, I'm pretty sure, will simmer this whole race. So we're going to go down the order and try and find something here. Will Kirk's come a buster here. He's messed up there at turn 4, and he's dropped about 3 positions there as well.
All by himself, too.
Yeah, didn't have anything, no one else to blame on that one except himself. Curtis Agmanis just getting the hurry up there from Hughesy. But look at the run here from Thomas Wilson out of turn 6. He's going to absolutely give Hughesy a bath on the way up the hill here towards turn 7. There's absolutely nothing. Oh no, there's going to be lap cars in the way here for Wilson. Where's he going to go? He just stumps it up the inside. That is Alex Ferry in the number 42. Just being a bit of a nuisance there as well, but getting out of the way nicely as Agmanis dives into P7 with Wilson and Hughes very much in tow as well. Look at Hughes, he's just getting very nice and racy on the back of the back of Wilson there. Eggs Kamagutsa there, he's cracked it, and there goes Wilson through up into turn 4. Thank you very much. But oh, look at the run here now. Hughesy had to just jump on the anchors because there was nowhere to go for Agmanis just sitting on the apex. Very nice little slide there, and looks to be the advantage here in the Hughes camp. VX versus AU Falcon up the main straight. Oh, we play mix and match here at SimSational, don't you worry. But here goes Hughes. He's in the hot seat here. Just has to find that apex, get on the power, and that's a position done. Very nicely done indeed for Hughesy.
VX Falcon versus AU Commodore here, according to Chris Munro. It is on like Donkey Kong here between these two, not giving each other an inch. Hughes has got to keep his wits about him because the egg will be right there, and you can see he's all over the rear bumper there, just giving every bit of an inch he can possibly give before contact. Headlights ablaze there as Agmanis over Hughes, so a bit blind in there for Hughes in the virtual reality side of things for Hughes. That's what he races in VR, getting the full experience there is Nathan Hughes, but he's just galloped away now. He's found 2 and a bit tenths from T1 into T6 as we see now. I hope it's T6. I keep calling it turn 6. I'm not too sure. But anyway, Turkey has gone up 2 places. He's in 15th, and now he is hounding the back of Zach Scowen too. Scowen's on the dance there as well. He's just doing a bit of a salsa dance there, just getting the arse wiggling a little bit there on the exit and entry too. But Simmons is on the prowl. He's just getting his eye in. At this point in time is Turkey. I reckon we'll see him inside the top 10 by the end of tonight. Don't you worry about that. That's another bold prediction.
Big call.
But hopefully it comes to fruition here racing at Wanneroo. It's a fantastic place to be. 10 laps out of 21 to go, and it's still on here for second place. Mallow's on the charge, and he's just going to sail around the outside, Scania style.
Wow.
That is incredible stuff over McFadden. McFadden's got nowhere to go. He's going to get out of the throttle. Ferguson in as well, and there we go. That's what happens when you get overtaken there. That's not the place. You lose 2 if for 1, and that is not what you want to see. You only want to see a 2 for 1 deal at a $2 shop, but not on the racetrack here. Fergo has promoted himself up into 3rd place. Jason McFadden's lost 2 in a go. Now he's going to get the bump draft here. What's Fergo going to do? Is he going to go defensive early? No, he's just left the door wide open. Oh my goodness gracious me, that is full Harry Potter style. But he's going to keep the tie touch. And you're kidding me. Fergo's nearly around. he's lost it, but he's gathered it up quickly. And that is a beautiful redress action. Oh, everyone else behind him, take note. There's that going to hamper these guys, because here comes Andre Elliott and Dean Hanley. They're fired up and ready to get involved in this action too. They saw what happened in front, and Brian's cousin has done the bad do, on Andrew Ferguson. And now they've got another couple of cars to think about behind them.
Yeah, just gone half race distance as well. So a nice little gap there opening up between Nick Mello and Ferguson, but through no fault of his own. I think just Ferguson and McFadden just arguing over that same bit of road there up at turn 7. Maybe a little bit more room could have been given on the outside there, but that's one for the stewards. We're not going to make a call on that. Thomas Wilson just gets up the inside of Dean Hanley as well. He gets up there into 6th position. Yeah, absolutely. He's got that VS Commodore absolutely dialed in at the moment, and he is moving forward at a rate of knots. He's got Andre Elliott in his sights. A couple of Rangiat cars, in fact. He's got McFadden in front of him as well. Ferguson, Mello and Thornton are your top 3 currently with 9 laps to go. Yeah,
very good call there, Chris. You can see that VS Commodore just sliding nicely on the exit. I wish we had the throttle tracing to see what Tommy Wilson's doing.
We can do that.
He is on song, and you can see what the master does. He isn't Cooper Shipley's livery, but don't worry about that. That's his Thomas Wilson behind the wheel, I can guarantee you. And look at that. He was on the brake and the throttle at the same time. That's how you keep the car balanced, ladies and gentlemen. Full beans now, heavy braking zone coming up straight off it, shifts down the gears, blips the throttle once and keeps it in 3rd gear, still modulating that brake pedal, trail braking real late, and then look at that throttle trace, smooth as butter, absolutely fantastic. And that is what it takes to keep the car on the slip angle, but then also maintain momentum forward at the maximum rate of knots, using all of that tyre grip that you've possibly got to dance yourself forward. And you can see it already. He was 9/10 already on the last lap behind, and now he's halved that within a lap, 58 seconds, and he's already halved it, and he's personal best himself there with a 57.2. That's quick. That's only 6 or 7 tenths off qualifying, and he's already hounding the back here of Andre Elliott. Well done. That is some good driving here from Tom Wilson. Just watch the master at work here. Now he's just got to keep it clean, because I know that Wilson, it's the opposite of the Wilson security parking logo. There's no blue. It is all red under the eyes of Tommy Wilson at the best of times.
Yeah, absolutely. But to be fair, he has matured so much as a driver over the last few years from watching him come as a hot-headed young man. But he's going to go up the inside there. Andre Elliott just serves it to him on a platter. And Wilson says, thank you, I'll have all of that and whatever else you've got in your back pocket. Thank you very much. He goes up into the top 5. Wowee. But as I was saying, when he first turned up to the league, maybe a little bit aggressive, maybe a little bit gets himself tangled up in incidents here and there. But I tell you what, over the years he has matured and he's turned into an absolute weapon. Does not go for the move unless it's on. Very respectful in terms of door-to-door racing as well. Can't say much more positive stuff about the young man, Thomas Wilson. Certainly good things coming and more wins up his sleeve this year for sure, if he stays with it. But we're going to go down. The order. Check out a little battle down the back here. We've got Clinton Goff. He's been hounded by Zach Scowen, and tell you what, Goff hasn't had his livery up. There's a bit of sheep and shoulder there too from Scowen up the inside. It's back to the streets here, ladies and gentlemen, of Western Australia. These two guys going at it, hammer and tong. Who's going to just sling it up the inside there, Goffy? He does. These two are side by side now. The Kmart car just lacking in the exit department. And that AE Falcon getting on the power very, very nicely. But
look
these
at
two
the
are now
horsepower.
just, gee whiz, the VX very quick up the straight. But that is now, I was going to say, it was occupied by Goff, had that inside line, but just pulls out at the last minute, gets back into the suck and sits back into 17th position. Maybe he'll get him on the next one.
Oh, hopefully you can get him on the next one. I've got a ripper call for him. I've got a beautiful move, and a wordism coming his way. He can get a position, so we've got to keep an eye on him at this point in time. But we will see what's going to happen, because it is still close as close. Look at Dean Hanley versus Nathan Hughes and Igmanis and Will Kirk. They are only 3 tenths away from each other. Don't you mind about it? On
there
the
goes
slide,
Igmanis.
there's a Kmart, and that is Igmanis. He has fully cracked himself. That is definitely not the Humpty Dumpty story we wanted to see from him. And he has fallen off the cliff and straight smashed himself into hard-boiled land. I wish he was hard-boiled at that stage. And Igmanis dropping all the way down from 6th to 13th. Oh, the poor bastard himself. He'll be absolutely spewing about that. But as promoted, Hughes, Hanley, and Kirk, Pearce, Nielsen, and Nielsen, the two Nielsens, up one position each. And it's still on like Donkey Kong between the two of them in 8th and 9th. Will Kirk and Hanley still going out of hammer and tong. Only a good half a second between Hughesy, Hanley, and Kirk. That's also a battle we want to see. But Ekmanis is going to have to get his Greg Murphy helmet back on and do a lap of the gods to get himself back through the field.
Yeah, he's going to have a few of those Kukukachu style. Kukukachu style is what I'm trying to say. A little Beatles Eggman reference there for anyone who's listening at home. But Will Kirk, another driver who has impressed me over the last few months since he joined the server, has been right up there in the pointy end of things too. So big things coming his way, Mr. Kirk. Don't worry about that. 4 laps to go, ladies and gents. David Thornton has probably an unassailable lead of 5.5 seconds just about to Nick Mello, even though Nick Mello is the fastest man on track and has been for the last few laps around. Wilson, the next man who can battle Mello in the pace department. Both of those guys on an absolute charge through the field. Ferguson sitting pretty in 3rd position, but now he's starting to see a ringy out. AU Falcon just starting to get a little bit bigger in the rearview mirror, and he'll be starting to count down the laps to the end of this one, because I tell you what, he will be absolutely spewing if he lets this podium slip out of his fingers.
Oh, he's just slid on the edge, and so did McFadden too. Bit of monkey see, monkey do. I thought it was all over for Fergo there. I thought McFadden was just going to slip his way up the inside, but he has managed to keep that lead at this point in time. It's not looking too pretty. In fact, it's probably getting a bit uglier for Mr. Ferguson in the racing department. That rearview mirror, that rang out Falcon, getting ever so much closer. 3 laps to go here now. Geez Louise, I reckon the sweat is boiling up in the Fergo department. He tells me he sweats very, very profusely. Not as much as Chris Munro's hands does at the higher go-karts, fully ripping off his inner palms over the Christmas break.
Yeah,
wow, what a sight that was to see. Looked like he had 3rd-degree burns in my co-commentator playing his guitar the next day. But anyway, Ferguson is having a good crack here and dead set trying to keep that lead. But I'll tell you what, McFadden is hungry as ever. He is looking at a great white shark in front of him versus what do you call that? What was that big bloody fish in the ocean? The bloody megalodon or whatever it was called. Megalodon. That thing was huge. That is what we're looking at. Great white versus Megalodon. And he's got the suck here as McFadden on board. This could be a move. Fergo's gone defensive. Fergo has got to defend and accelerate as quick as he can, but he's still on the advantageous line. McFadden's all over that ripple ship. Nearly took the inside barrier off. Oh, there's a bit of a mischief there from Fergo. This could be interesting. Side by side into turn 1 around the outside. We saw the VX Commodore be able to do that, but no, Fergo has got the chockies, and now McFadden is under threat from Tommy Wilson behind. This is the 3-way battle. It's all for the final step on the podium here. 2 laps to go here. Fergo's just on the slide, and Tommy Wilson's hit the back of McFadden. McFadden's dipped himself. He has absolutely pinned himself a Osama bin Laden style, and that is all over for McFadden. We have a mother shouting. Tommy Wilson's in 4th place. Andrew Ferguson's going to be singing to the high heavens. That is a podium guaranteed for Fergo. Don't commentate, it goes him. And McFadden has dropped from 4th all the way down to 8th place now, losing a position to the captain. It is not over until the checkered flag is waved. Ladies and gentlemen, that is racing for you. McFadden will be spewing that championship lead. It is going to be a little bit tighter by the end of tonight, I would say.
Yeah, things getting a little bit awkward between those 3 guys. You could see that they were all sort of vying for different lines through turn 4. Ferguson opting to brake early and try and drive through the turn. And that just balked himself back into the lap of McFadden, who I guess just didn't anticipate the brakes coming on so soon. He had to jump on the ankles. Tommy Wilson's backed it up into him as well. And all 3 of those guys coming together. But I think just on the exit there off turn 4, it was McFadden might just have just got a little bit throttle happy there and just put himself off into the bunda, despite there being contact from Wilson. I think that was pretty much just driver error there for McFadden, ending up down in 8th position. But tell you what, we're about to start the final lap, and here's our man of the day so far. He's 6 seconds out in front. David Thornton.
Benechek!
Oh my God! I was about to say nothing's going to stop him, but then there was just cars just blocking the way. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing can stop you like a blue flag at turn the wrong way on the apex of a turn. I'll give you the hot tip. But tell you what, David Thornton, he's deserved it. He's been the quickest in qualifying. He's been the quickest in the practice server all week. He was quickest in qualifying, was he not? No, he was second quickest in qualifying, but maybe that was a bit of a ploy to get that inside run, because he just slammed it out into the lead, Zach O'Reilly, and you want to call him across the line.
Thornton is about to cross the final, already weaving. He's that cocky. He knows he's got the chockies in the bag, and he's about to cross. What has happened?
Ferguson's just dropped a position.
Well, Fergo's lost a place. He just had it. And Fergo, father shouting, is not going to take P3, but P1 goes to David Thornton. Says, thank you very much, Nick Mello, 4 and a bit seconds right behind him at the end. Tommy Wilson and Fergo, I reckon, have got together there somehow. And that is P3 and 4 done at 1. Unless Fergo had a unforced error himself.
Yeah.
He saw that red mist. Andre Elliott, he's 5th place. Nathan Hughes and McFadden crossed the line very, very closely indeed, as well as Captain Kirk in 8th, Dean Hanley 9th, Brandon Pearce in 10th place. But this guy tonight, the Orcon Steel man, I'll tell you what, he needs to get a race suit a size bigger, I reckon. If he keeps this momentum going, he is as hard as an Orcon Steel. 4 metre length at this point in time is David Thornton. Takes the chockies, fastest in practice all week, as Chris Munro said, and takes the win, and he's taken qualifying already tonight. So all hats off to David Thornton. Oh, it wasn't Thornton, sorry.
No, he basically started pole from getting that inside run there at the Barbagallo circuit, but very dominant there in race 1. Even on pace, there's not much Mello could do about it. I know Mello was stuck in a bit of traffic early on in that race. I'm thinking maybe if he got clear of that earlier on, he might have been able to challenge Thornton in the pace department, because I'm pretty sure Mello was the fastest lap of the race in that last race. So perhaps those two guys can, if they get both the amount of clear air and working their way through traffic, can perhaps take the win in race 2. I'll tell you what, Thomas Wilson has come through with the biscuits and stolen. What an absolute robbery. Stolen the 3rd place cup off Andrew Ferguson. He'll be spewing about that. I wish we saw it on stream, but we can't catch it all here on SimSational TV. As much as we catch most of it, there will be a few things that fall through the cracks. But what a race. Plenty of action. And I think everyone got through unscathed, except for Steve Warwick, who I've just gone back through the commentary notes here. He did jump the start and got disqualified.
Oh, what a good call by yours truly.
Yeah, exactly.
A good prediction.
Yep.
That's unfortunate for him. And also, poor old Gearhead just didn't have a brake pedal either. So,
you need one of them.
You definitely do need one of them. You can't be rev match downshifting and compressioning down into the turn 1. It just won't work at all. But he'll be back for race 2. He says Braden Moore's having a good punt there on Mallow as well. He's probably got a couple of dollars on him too in the chat. But it's good to have you all there. But the man, the myth, the legend, David Thornton, has taken P1 in the first of 3 tonight. Another 2:21 lappers coming our way here, Christopher.
Yeah.
It's who's bet what the grid formation is going to be for the next one.
Who knows?
Who knows? That's what we love to see here at SimSational TV. A bit of mystery in the commentary box. And what a race. That was pretty good, pretty clean. Very nice driving from everyone in the grand scheme of things. Gave him a good old rev up there in the driver's briefing. And looks like they've managed to keep that message in their brains for race 1. But there's 2 to go.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's probably just going to escape through the cerebral cortex and out the other ear.
Yeah.
And we might see some carnage coming our way.
I reckon I reckon we're going to see it at least at some point throughout this race. They were on their best behaviour in race 1. And so, in typical fashion, they think, well, you know what, you guys, we were so well behaved, we're going to absolutely go crazy for the second one. But Ronald in the chat says a full reverse grid prediction there for race 2. Well, I'll tell you what, there would be carnage if that happened. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut to the break here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back in just a short moment. And all of our questions will be answered about what the starting grid will be. I hope it's something less boring than finishing positions, but it all will be revealed in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. The action will follow.
Go back to the beginning, let's start from the start. Erase all the stories of a blow.
We are back on track, viewers. It's good to have everyone out there
Yeehaw.
in the chat land. If you haven't already, subscribed to our lonely little channel out here in YouTube.
Lonely, it's going gangbusters. What are you
It
talking
absolutely is. We're on the run. We're on the road to 1,000
1,000.
subscribers. I last looked, we were 780 odd, which means we're not far off. So we might have to throw it over to the chat. What do you guys want to see when we hit 1,000? Some sort of special thing that we can bring to you, because I guess it's you guys that have got us up to 1,000 in the first place. So
about? Nothing sexual.
yeah, no, nothing that you wouldn't want to see on YouTube anyway. We might be able to live stream on Pornhub one day, but not this season. I'm thinking, make Zach O'Reilly chug a beer out of his shoe, or make Zach O'Reilly chug a wine out of his shoe, or make Zach O'Reilly chug a West Coast Cruiser out of his shoe, or something.
Well, look, worse things have been chugged.
Yeah.
That's for sure. If you've ever played King's Cup before, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. That is something to behold in the grand scheme of things. But nonetheless, when we hit 1,000, there will be something. And we cannot thank everyone enough already for the 780 odd that we've got at the moment. 220 to go, and we are there. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. So if you are loving what we are doing, and want to get your friends, family, and uncles, cousins, aunties, even your dog or your cat, if you've got a Instagram channel or a car channel of whatever car you drive, just create a YouTube account and a Google account or something, and for the car, post a video up, and it's legit, and then we get some more subscribers. It's absolutely fantastic. As long as it's related to you, we'd love to have you on board. So thank you to everyone so far. But I'll tell you what, it's massive thank you at the moment to these racers on the grid at the moment. And we've been told that it is just the grid where you finish in the race for each single one. And I reckon we're going to change that for race 3 because it is probably is about as entertaining as a fart in an elevator at the moment, just seeing everyone start where they finish. But nonetheless, Dave Thornton, Nick Mallow, Tom Wilson, Ferguson and Andre Elliott are your top 5 with Hughes, McFadden, Kirk, Hanley and Pearce. Well, the Magician pulled one out of the bag in that one and found himself finishing 10th. So good on him. And that is where we're going to find him for race 2. 21 more laps coming our way, Christopher.
Yes, I've just been taken back by Mr. McFarlane's comment there. P-Hub party at 1K on in Swan Street, Richmond. I love Swan Street. I've been there. I want to go back. But I tell you what, we can't go back yet because we're about to get started here in race 2. And it looks like David Thornton's got an absolutely cracking start again. And he will lead into turn 1. Nick Mello just trying to force the issue up the inside, getting a little bit squirrely. But back behind him, it's Wilson and Ferguson. Just Ferguson getting a little bit loose on the exit. And Wilson just has to chime in behind him. He sits there in 4th position. We got Andre Elliott, we got Hughes and McFadden also with Kirk going around the outside, I believe. Yes, he was around the outside of Dean Hanley and gets that job done up through. Oh, geez, very, very squirrely on the exit of turn 4. Almost lost it. Here comes the Magician back there behind him, just getting up the inside of Dean Hanley as well. Into turn 7. Into turn 6. Very nicely done. But Will Kirk is on a charge. He's up next to Hughesy. He's got McFadden bump drafting him down the back straight as well. This will be the first lap around, and Hughes just breaks late, sends it in, chucks it in around the outside, and keeps that position there from Will Kirk. Very nicely done indeed. David Thornton leads with Nick Mello 2nd and Andrew Ferguson 3rd.
Yeah, very well done by all of them. They've managed to get around unscathed.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to see here in the grand scheme of things in the racing department. But they're all battling for sheep stations here in 13th, 12th and 14th. It is absolutely nothing between them. 0.3 of a second gapping. And look at Higginson on the back there of Nielsen. Hopefully Higginson doesn't repeat what he did in Adelaide. Absolutely punted 5 or 6 cars and then decided to get in the way of the blue flags. But he's doing his best impression of Tokyo Drift there and giving himself a lot of leeway there to make up any ground on these guys in front. And that is Nielsen trying to go up the inside of Turkey Simmons. I said to Turks, I'd get yourself in the top 10, son. and he's trying to do his best impression on how not to do it.
Yeah.
Nielsen is sitting right there and ready to go for 13th. Side-by-side draft, and Nielsen trying to get the suck again. Can he dive it up the inside? Nielsen, yes, he's going to go have a crack at it, and Turkey Base has got no opportunity to do it. That's going to be a move done. The Egmanis mare, however, has got in front of Brandon Pierce, and they have taken a position off each other. They're Egmanis back into the top 10. Can Brandon Dostal, however, in 18th, having all of those problems in the first go, get back up into the top 10? That should be something to behold, but these guys are not giving each other an inch. Higginson's got around him cleanly. Autodesk or not, he has got that done up onto the curb. Wowee, that was some car behaviour. Nearly yeeted himself into that other AU Falcon, but he's got it dancing on the rear edge, and he's just managed to keep it together. So he is now going to be on the charge over to the Turkey Baster, sitting in front of him 12th.
On the charge indeed. The Turkey Baster having a good start to this race. He didn't have the best of finishes to the last one, but let's hope. There's a car off there. Who's that? Jason McFadden. What's he done here? He's found himself on the infield. Gee whiz, he's going to need a paddock pass to get back out onto the track there from there. Wowee, he's down to 16th, 17th position. Wowee, that's a big ask to get back in the top 5 from there. That is the championship leader, ladies and gentlemen. An uncharacteristic mistake, and another one as well. Compounded mistakes now, and Bullock's eyes are the size of dinner plates. He says, all right, well, I'm going to just chuck my AU Falcon around the outside of your AU Falcon. But no, look at this. Luke Newings wants to get involved as well. He was up the inside there, trying to make it 3 wide. But the number 37 gets that job done on Bullock quite easily as well. And so Luke Newing just out of position down there in 18th. He is one of the speedier customers in this server. Don't you worry about that. He's down there for some other reason. Perhaps just didn't qualify as well as he wanted to. Could have got tangled up in that last race as well. But someone dropping down the order, that is Alex Fazzari in the old Dick Johnson. Green's tough livery, just doing it tough as well down there in 20th position. So let's look up the order, because it's all happening down the back, but it is also happening up the front. Thomas Wilson right up behind Ferguson here for a podium challenge.
No excuses here for Fergo. He had a blue flag marker in his way, allegedly, for that final lap at the last race. So we'll see what he can do, but he's got Tom Wilson right behind him. So this could be very, very spicy indeed. Hopefully Fergo hasn't got the red mist under that jacket of his, and just make sure he can keep it consistent and clean, because that is a hairy customer to be behind, or in front, sorry, over Tom Wilson, that's for sure, and he's got the headlights ablaze there too. So does Andre Elliott too. Look at that guy, Andre Elliott in 5th place, and here goes Wilson. He's got the run on Fergo. That 4th place is looking ever so more likely there for Fergo. Wilson's going to take P3. If you can stick it up the inside cleanly there, he's going to push Fergo to the outside, and he does, just on the other side of the ripple strip. Fergo won't be too happy about that one, but there was plenty of room for them both at that stage, and Fergo and Wilson still going at it into turn 1. Wowee, that is incredible stuff from the both of them, but they get it done cleanly, and now Fergo is going to be angry, and he's wanting to get up the back on to Tom Wilson to follow his lines, because right behind him is this man, Andre Elliott, sitting beautifully there in 5th place, just watching these two have a good old tussle, nearly taking the rear bumper off Fergo's car there, just on the throttle a little bit too late, because Fergo's got the run up the hill over himself, get off the grass and stick it onto the black stuff. You get maximum momentum, and Andre Elliott's just doing that at the moment. Watching these two guys in front of him have a good crack, and he nearly sailed it into the rear end of Fergo there, gathered it up nicely. Look at that throttle trace, and that was also really, really well recovered for Andre Elliott, but albeit a good 5/10 off his personal best. Turkey Base is in 11th. This top 10 is looking spicy, but he's got the magician in front of him, Chris, to make sure that does not happen. What can the magician pull out of his hat? A couple of dubs, maybe a podium, maybe a trophy here, there. Who knows? But Turkey's got it all to do with that guy in front of him.
Yeah, it could be anything. Could be a pigeon as well, but here he goes. It could be well wide at turn 7, as he's done, and just gives the position back to Taylor Simmons. He's got Matty Burke in the comments too, cheering him on. Come on, Brando. That's not enough for the man to just hold on to 10th position or 9th position as it was, but 10th, should I say. But now he's under pressure here, because he's got who's behind there? The train that we saw earlier on with Higginson, Nielsen, and Zach Scowen is involved in that as well. And not too far behind, you can see, is McFadden and Dostal going side by side. Oh, geez, I think there was a little bit of contact there between both of those guys. Whoa, that's one for the stewards. McFadden getting a little free kick there, I think. Maybe that one will go through to the steward's office afterwards, but we can't make any comments on that, as we didn't see the whole You didn't see the whole story, ladies and gentlemen. So, this little three-way battle, if they can just tack onto the back of Brandon Pierce, that is a four-way, maybe a five-way battle with Taylor Simmons just doing his best to hold off Pierce for the moment. 8 laps of 2021 down already. Geez, they go fast here at Barbagallo.
They do. 8 laps already. We're already a third of the race done and won here at the famous Wanneroo circuit. And it's still on for young and old. Higginson's managed to get his way through pretty cleanly here, so good on him. Absolutely fantastic stuff there from Higginson. He'll be going off a top 10 if he can get onto the back of Pierce and Taylor Simmons there, sitting pretty in 11th and 10th respectively. But the old Dream Simulation is sponsored on Higginson's car at the moment, and he'll be wanting to get back onto that sim pretty quickly here. Bit different to the old open wheelers are these V8 supercars there. You can see a Formula One, I'd say that's 2002-ish sort of outline there, Chris Munro. Your favourite sort of, well, one of your favourite years, I've been told, in terms of car shape. But nonetheless, he's doing a good job, is Higginson, and trying to keep himself out of harm's way between himself and Nielsen. But spewing Newing has galloped his way a bit further up the field from 18th to 15th now, so a very, very nice job by him, and hopefully he can keep it from unspewing, because he's got a very, very angry Zach Scowen right behind him, trying to get the chockies over him, and then Dostal as well. Dostal got punted off a lap and a bit ago from McFadden by the looks of it. If we're wrong, but that's how we see it, and that's how we call it. And Dostal looking all over the back here. Jeez Louise, you can't get much closer than that. That is incredible car control from the both of them, using every bit of momentum there. You can see what happens, though, ladies and gentlemen, when you try to accelerate too early out of the corner, lose all of that momentum on exit. It's a slow in, fast out strategy, and it works every single time in motorsport. So keep that eye on it. If you're a bit behind, you sort of watch Craig Lowndes. Back in these days, he would get right up the arse of someone coming up under the brakes and then lose all of that momentum on the exit. That's not how you go racing. This is how you go racing. Door drafting, bump drafting nearly from McFadden. He is definitely angry. He's the angry Kiwi himself. Jace, 91. I'll tell you what, mate. You have got the red mist in front of you with that blue oval underneath you. Jeez Louise. Now you've got Higginson to go off, and here goes Newing. Newing's been defending here on Nielsen. Nielsen had a good crack at him too behind, and Nielsen's off into the bunda. And lost a couple of places by his own doing there. So he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. And the green-eyed monster there of James Bullock is hounding all over the back of him. AU versus AU. Here we go. What can we see between the two of them? It's going to be all on for young and old.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. These guys down the back here have just been pretty much nose to tail this whole race. Look, you can see here from Higginson. Never mind McFadden. He's just on the comeback trail here at the moment. But behind him, oh, jeez. Oh,
no way,
no,
Jace.
he hasn't. No, that's going to be... He's going to have to be getting out of the throttle. He's trying to, but there's nowhere for him. There's 3 cars up his ass. There's nowhere for him to get on the redress train. There's 10 set. Oh, no, he's still gone from bad to worse. He will redress here eventually, but I think it was sort of... his hand was forced into it there as well. What a gaggle of cars. What a funny little situation we've seen here in race 2. But these two guys are here. They're side by side. That's Rick Banachek and Nathan Higginson. He's back on the circuit after copying the Brian's cousin treatment down there at the bottom of the hill. Oh, wowee. Well, I guess there might be some... the stewards are going to be busy today. Oh, there goes Pierre off the track and facing the wrong way at a very unopportune moment in this race, and a very bad spot on the track as well. It's sort of unsighted as you come up over turn 4. You don't want to see a bloody AU Falcon pointing your direction, that's for sure. But Zach Scowen, he wants to see some positions pointing his way. He's going to try and dive it up the inside here of Luke Newing in the 37. But wow, look at the power that that VS Commodore has off the final turn. He says, bugger you, mate. I'm out of here. And McFadden's going to try and take advantage of that as well around the outside. I think he is a little bit angry, Zach.
Yes, he is.
Yep, Jason
He'll be
McFadden.
angry up. We've heard the stewards giving him a drive-through penalty for bumping a couple off as well. So they're all live and on song here tonight. That's for sure.
Jesus.
The old drivers, no, the stewards. That's for sure. So look out for that at some stage from McFadden. If he doesn't serve it, he will be dead set last for the next race. So it's only better for him to serve that penalty if he can within the next 5 laps or so. Well, he's only got 3 left, I think, after this one. But look out for McFadden. That's what you get, unfortunately. We've seen it a couple of times. Puntarunas, no redress. and that is 2 times, and that is all you get. 2 warnings and you're out.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky to get that as well. It's just got caught on camera, live on TV, a live murder there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get. But here goes Steve Warwick here for ASR Racing, giving Banachek a fair bit of curry there, a little bit of side drafting. Oh, no! Banachek, I think Banachek's tried to turn right around this turn 7. Failed to realise there was a VX Commodore just underneath his bloody rear quarter panel. So play on there for Steve Warwick. Banachek, maybe look in your mirrors before you turn in, Champa.
Well, Jesus, I'm not sure what's happened there, but...
Oh, no, it was O'Brien, sorry.
It was O'Brien, not Banachek. The poor old windscreen has got absolutely shafted. He's shattered at this moment in time. But that's... Unfortunately, that's what happens. You just try to veer left when there's a car there. Maybe your car radar needs to be reconfigured. And speaking of which, Turkey Base has just ruined me top 10. And Brandon Pearce has galloped his way into 10th place. Turkey's gone off and got 11th position back in his pocket. Not where he wants to be. But Pearso on the prowl here. I reckon Pearso should be a little bit further up the grid. He'll get some practice in as well. Yeah. So will Egmanis too. Egmanis in 9th place. Good performance from him overall so far. I'll tell you what, your mate, the captain, sitting there in 7th place, very, very lonely at 7th place at the moment. Got good 3 and a bit seconds between himself and then 2.5 seconds between him, Dean Hanley behind as well. But Egmanis here is hounding the back here of Dean Hanley. The old driver training needs to be up to scratch here for Hanley. And Egmanis on the prowl, doing his best Greg Murphy lap of the God style race here. Qualifying lap after qualifying lap for the both of them. This is incredible stuff, and we'll see the consistency between the two of them as they cross the line coming our way. What is the lap time between Egmanis? Egmanis is about to cross the line. He's going to do a 57.6, and then Dean Hanley did a 57.6 as well. So they are banging on neck and neck in the pace differential department, these two.
Yeah, that's it. I think Curtis just sitting back here, getting a sort of a bit of a driver profile in his mind about how Hanley goes about his business. With only 6 laps to go, Egmanis can probably only... there's another 2 or 3 seconds up the road to Will Kirk. So, I mean, realistically, he could probably only get 8th position, barring some disaster up the front. So he's got 6 laps to try and set this overtake up. So he's got a lot of time to do it. He can sit back there and be patient, try and force an unforced error. I think that's a massively overlooked technique of overtaking here in the sim world. Guys, they want to be heroes all the time. They want to just dive it up the inside, get that postcard overtake. But sometimes it just comes down to the grittiness of just sitting there and being in the bloke's mirrors in front of you for 4 laps. You know.
Well, yeah, dead set. And sorry.
No, you go. Sit there for 4 laps.
It's on at 3rd and 2nd place. I'll give you the hot tip. Look at Mallow and Wilson. Wilson's challenging Nick Mallow here for 2nd place. He's going to get the job done. That was some cracking driving from the both of them. That was side by side on the other camera. They were side by side coming into turn 1, and they managed to do it all cleanly. So Fergo will be looking at that going, this looks a bit delicious. We've got some lap traffic in the way here too. Get out of the way, AU Falcon. My goodness gracious me. Tommy Wilson's on the outside line. He's on the disadvantage line, but Mallow's got blocked, and here goes Fergo. Fergo's going to have the chockies here, I reckon. Oh, no, he's not far enough up. He's on the wrong side of the road here. Nick Mallow nearly thought he'd lost P3 there with that blue flag here in the way, but somehow they've all managed to get through beautifully. That is incredible stuff from the both of them. Absolutely sensational stuff.
Oh, all 3 of them, you can say. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. This is the battle for the 2nd place of this race. Dave Thornton has the 1st position absolutely wrapped up. He's 6 seconds down the road and all over, bar the shouting. But I tell you what, these 3 guys getting stuck in. Nick Mallow very fast in the 1st sector, as you can see. Wilson very quick in the 2nd sector. He's just sort of stretched that gap a little bit.
What's happened to Thornton?
And now Thornton, no, as I've said it, I've commentator cursed him. He's dead set lost it here out of turn 7. He's lost the lead. Tom Wilson has just taken the lead of this race. Mello into 2nd. Ferguson gets his podium so far. Wowee. Now we have a 3-car race for the win. 3 laps to go. Couldn't be any more perfect.
Oh, geez. I saw a errant VX Commodore off in the bunda at the same time that David Thornton was.
Oh, no.
Please don't tell me that was a blue flag incident for Thornton. My goodness gracious me, there will be steam coming out. I reckon I can see it from here in England, from Thornton's eyes, if that was the case. Unfortunate for him, but this is the battle now. Fergo's guaranteed himself a podium here, bar the shouting at this point in time. He knows it's all on. Can he get it done? He's got Andre Elliott a second behind him too. And Nick Mellow's on the slide into the final, into turn 6, and he's lost it all completely. Fergo's going to have to chock his ear for sure. Come on, EL Falcon, get up there. Take the lead, son, over Nick Mello. Jeez Louise, they're side by side. How Nick Mello's got in front of him, I'm not too sure. That is some horsepower difference there. Fergo's on the inside line. Will he take that move up the inside?
Yes.
He does. He dives it very lately. Beautifully done there by Fergo. But Nick Mello's sticking a fat on the outside, on the other side of the curve there. By the both of them, wowee, in the fair dinkum department. This is racing if you've ever seen it before. Fergo, defensive here, and covers that line off beautifully into turn 1. He's just got to get that exit perfectly lined and assorted there, because the momentum will be Nick Mellow's way, and you can see that momentum difference there. The drive off the corner is incredible there. A bit of net coating too in the server department. That would have given Nick Mello a bit of a brown pants moment there, I guarantee you. But Fergo on the prowl into P2. Now he's got Tommy Wilson in front of him to navigate. Or is Nick Mello going to get the chockies back over him?
Yeah.
Wow, this is sensational stuff.
Oh, mate, 2 laps to go here, viewers, and it's come down to the grandstand finish. And this man here, Andre Elliott's just starting to tack onto the back of these two guys as well. Thomas Wilson has just chuffed off down the road. He saw that gap in front and he was loving it. But here we go. Mello has just found himself up the inside there of Ferguson. Ferguson looking for the switchback, and he has got the momentum. Can he just pull out of the slipstream at the correct time? But no, Mello is privy to it. No, but he's locked him up. He goes into the kitty litter. Ferguson up into second position. The Elliott up into third. Oh, Mello, that is a very un-Mello-like mistake there. You never see him outbreak himself, but he has done now, and he's lost 2 positions because of it, and he's got Nathan Hughes giving him the hurry up as well. 1 lap to go here. Wowee.
Wowee, what a change in events here, ladies and gentlemen. That checkered flag has not waved. The race is not over, and Nick Mello's unforced errored himself out of the Grand Slam position there. I'll tell you what, he was up there ready to go. Yeah. But that is all over, bar the shouting at this point in time. McManus in 8th place. Very, very good job from him. He's all over the back here of Dean Hanley. These two have not let go of each other the whole race, ladies and gentlemen. And they're still having a good crack here with the final lap coming their way. Who's going to get the chockies over these two? It's 8th and 7th still. Very, very close here as well. Fergo has got only a little bit of a threat, between himself and Andre Elliott behind him. I don't think that's going to be anything to worry about here. It's still happening. Taylor Simmons has gone past the Brandon Dostal there for 12th, but all happening at the grand scheme of things. Thomas Wilson, what a drive from him. He has kept it clean, he's kept it cool, calm and collected. All the 3 C's there, bar from the 4th that ends in T. And he is absolutely loving life at this point in time, ready to take the checkered flag here. Only 1 more turn to navigate here for Tom Wilson, and he's going to take his first win of 2025. How many more to come in whatever leagues? We don't know, but Tom Wilson is there, and he's just setting his personal best laps here just to finish off in style. Will Thomas Wilson, what can he do? Can he get the purple sector at the last lap? We'll find out, but he's going to cross the line anyway. P1 by 2.2 seconds over the field goes to Tommy Wilson. Well done to you. And Andrew Ferguson inside the podium positions. P2 for him. That is going to be an after party for him and Chris to sort out. Not sure what's going to happen there. Maybe a video camera coming Chris's way. Andre Elliott in 3rd. Nick Mello 4th. Nathan Hughes in an absolutely sensational 5th place. Captain Kirk 6th. Hanley, McManus, Thornton, the poor bastard, absolutely getting taken out, I would say, by a blue flagger from 1st all the way down in 9th there. And Brandon Pearce rounds out your top 10 with McFadden, 11th place, leading the championship. Yeah,
congratulations to all those guys and the podium. Taylor Simmons just couldn't get you that top 10 finish, so some words to be had to him. Brandon Dostal up there in 13th after a disastrous first race. Zach Scowen in 14th there with James Bullock, Nathan Higginson, Luke Newing, James Pedersen. Clinton Goff down there in 19th with Fazari joining him. Jesse Marshall, J Park, not to be confused with the elder statesman here in the server, Jim Park. Might be we'll find out where J Park comes from. But Rick Banachek down there in 23rd. Ryan Nielsen with Will Bullock in 25th. We're going to have to jump back to the pits to see who came beyond 25th because there were plenty of cars after that. We got William Bullock there in 25th. Harrison Rayner in 26th on debut. Ian O'Brien we saw getting into trouble there some point during the race. Gaz Posse out there in 28th. Braden Moore in 29th. Ryan Snooks 30th. And Alex Ferry. Someone tell me, is it just fair?
Fair.
Fair.
Gotta be fair.
Fair enough. All right, I can deal with that. Yep, if that's fair, I'm fair. Everyone's happy. Thomas Wilson winning race 2. Thank you very much. What a funny little race. We had David Thornton out there pretty much untouched for the whole thing. Then a minute to go, stuffs it up.
Yeah, stuffs it up by his own accord, or by something else. We don't know.
Well, look, when you got to be honest, I'm gonna veto that and say he's got a 6-second lead. There's no reason to get tangled up with anyone, whether it be blue flag or not. You got to show the skills. You got to get around them in a safe manner. So, tough shit. I reckon.
Throwing out the old TSs already.
I reckon.
It's after 8:30, ladies and gentlemen. Anything's going to happen here in the final race. Don't you worry about that. So you know what to do. Who knows what the grid's going to be as well for the final race too. Even another mystery to us. Yeah. But let's take our hats off to all the drivers for that race too. That was something to behold. Everyone came through with some trials and tribulations in between there in those 21 laps. Barbagallo never fails to disappoint us at any racing standards. And if you like the channel, give it a like and tell your friends to like it. Then tell them to subscribe and then hit that notification bell so you know when we are going to be broadcasting here at SimSational TV. And if you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, please just give us a like on the video also. But nonetheless, still got one more to go. It's not all over yet.
No.
3 races are nearly complete. 2 out of 3 done. 21 laps. Barbagallo. Yeah. Classic V8 Supercars. Where else do you want to be? You want to be right here at SimSational TV. We'll be back for race 3 and the final one of the evening in just a hot second.
It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for race 3. The final time here in the V8 Supercar, Classic Supercar Series. And we do. It looks to be we've got a top 15 reverse grid. So James Bullock is off pole position. That is on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Scowen on his inside. Brandon Dostal with Taylor Simmons off the second row. McFadden has profited madly from this. He's up there in the top 5 with Brandon Pierce next to him. Thornton and Igmanis as well. Hanley and Kirk, there's some quick drivers here in this top 10. So keep your eyes peeled because the action is not going to be far away. Don't you worry about that. Nathan Hughes and Nick Mello start behind those two with Elliott and Ferguson back there. Thomas Wilson starting from 15th. That is where the reverse ends. And Nathan Higginson is back there in 16th with Luke Newing behind him. James Pedersen, Clint Goff, Alex Fazzari starting 20th with Marshall Park. Banachek, Nielsen, Bullock is not in the server yet, but hopefully will be in the next 2 minutes. Harrison Rayner in 26. That's a cool name, by the way. Harrison Rayner. How is he not a movie star or something with that kind of name? Harrison Rayner. Yeah, he sounds like an important dude.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Top shit.
Ian O'Brien in 27th. Gaz Posse in 28th. Braden Moore in 29th. Snooksy in 30th with Alex Fair and Alan Nielsen taking up the arse end of the field. Minute 30 to go. Get your predictions in. There's still plenty of you out there in the watching land for SimSational TV. Thank you very much for sticking with us. One more time. 21 laps, isn't it, Zach O'Reilly? Easy to remember when all three races are the same. 23 to go. Minute to go. Who's going to win?
Well, it's anyone's bet. We've got a reverse grid here, top 15. Mm-hmm. And poor old Dave Thornton's probably come out the best out of all of these guys, getting absolutely done as a duck's dinner somehow in that last race. Yet to be known on what happened, but he found himself from first all the way down to, seventh if he's ninth or 10th in the last race. So he'll be happy with that. But it is a fair bit of an angle gaggle to get through, ladies and gentlemen, here for the start of race 3 and the final one. tonight. So what can we see between all of these guys? Can Wilson, Fergo and Elliott make their way through, as well as Nick Mellor? Nick Mellor's really good on the starts too. But can they get through clearly? That's the biggest test of the night. Hopefully the driver's briefing message is still in their heads. You cannot win it
Long gone.
turn one.
That's
but
long.
I reckon that's long gone.
That's long gone, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh.
We're going to see fireworks and dive bombs as far as the eye can see here. And reverse grids are the place to do it. Why not? It's race 3, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are up. Get your predictions in. We are just about set and ready for a start here into race 3. Who's going to take this shot? It is lights out, and we are racing now. It looks like James Bullock actually got a pretty good start, but Zach Scowen shoots it up the inside. He's going to just give plenty of room too. But look back here, there's a gaggle of cars, 3 wide there as well. Brandon Dostal just taking that couple of positions off the start as well. He's got Will Kirk up behind him, clattering across the curbing. Oh, there's Dave Thornton. Oh, no.
And Turks.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a big black up there, and everyone just got whacked as they all did the old Constantina effect into turn 4. Terrible stuff. Who was the worst out of it? Hayden Reynard down there in 18th. I know Igmanis got absolutely shafted there as well. There is a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone is going slowly. It is... Who predicted that? Ronald Marshall. Well done. You get a gold star. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And what better place to do it on the first lap of the final race, ladies and gentlemen? As Chris said, all out the window. No one listened to anything for the first. Well, they listened to the first 2, and then it just gets progressively worse as the night goes on. But that's okay, because James Bullock at the moment will be absolutely singing it all heavens. Nathan Higginson's just got punted under the safety car as well. Not sure how you manage that when you're racing at 80 kilometres an hour, dead set behind everyone. It is just an absolute farce here, and Higginson's going to move straight back up to where he should be. I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. But at the moment, Green Eyed Monster is out in front. Craig Lowndes will be singing his heart out. If you're watching Lounsey, which I wish you would, mate, because you get about 400,000 subscribers straight to our channel if you were. Yeah. That'd be you up the front there in the P1 position. And Greg Murphy right behind him with a privateer of Brandon Pierce sitting there ready to rock and roll. I reckon the safety car period surely won't last any more than another lap at the maximum, Christopher Munro. If anything, because it is 58 seconds around here and everyone's gathered themselves up. Nathan Higginson's found his way back into where he should be. And that is all over bar the shouting at this point in time. Bullock, Scowen, Pierce, Kirk, Dostal, Mallow, Ferguson, Wilson, and Nathan Hughes with Andre Elliott right behind him are your top 10 here. 2 laps down only means we've got 19 laps of racing left to go.
Yeah, just making that super sprint shorter and shorter. I imagine they'll stop weaving down probably midway down this straight here, and it will be time to go green, as I don't think anyone got lapped in that little opening stanza either, because it was one lap before they called the safety car. Yeah, it looks like everyone's just getting into single file now, and the field is under control by the number 00 there, James Bullock. He's about to get going. Looks like he's green now. It is green, ladies and gentlemen. James Bullock leads. Will with Zach Scowen there in second position. Will Kirk and Pierce. There goes Bullock just off into the bloody bunda. See you later. Zach Scowen now leads this race with Brandon Pierce second. Will Kirk third. Brandon Dostal looking very racy indeed, trying to make his mark here on this third race in the championship. His first or second race here in the championship. Nick Mello up behind him with his mate Ferguson behind him. Actually by an absolute bee's dick. We're going to ride on board with Ferguson and see what he can do down the hill. Takes the wide line. He's going to try and hook it up the inside here, maybe for a bit of a switchback on all these guys in front. Nick Mello getting wide out sideways as well. Dead set, he's gone sideways. There goes Nick Mello up the hill, but Ferguson can't go with him because Thomas Wilson is the one about to have a crack at Ferguson. He goes up the inside here at turn 7, and it looks like he's just going to get that job done. Pushes Ferguson wide of that bollard again. That's twice now. Ferguson won't stand for it a third time. I reckon there'll be some paint swapped if these positions stay the same for next time. But there goes Ferguson getting all sorts of sideways around turn 1, and he's going to lose the goat there to Thomas Wilson. Andre Elliott now lining up behind Fergo.
Well, in terms of that, it's a very, very unmistakable unforced error there. All he had to do was keep it straight, but couldn't get that job done, and he's all sideways at the moment. Those tyres are hot at the moment, I'll tell you what. And look out, there's a bit of biffo going on in front of them there. That is Dostal and Will Kirk going a whole side by side, and Nick Ballow's got the best out of it. He's gone into third, Wilson fourth place, and then poor old Dostal's been yeeted off into the bunda. He's going to drop down even more positions. He's going to get swamped here by Higginson and Luke Newing. I tell you what, he's going to lose 5 positions in one corner, realistically. Poor old bastard there, Brandon Dostal. He'll be spewing at the moment. Oh, not if he yeets himself up the inside. And this is all happening between the three of them. This is incredible stuff. What are we going to see? Is Luke Newing going to have a crack here at Higginson? No, he's too far away. Oh, no, he's not. Not at this point in time. He says, I'll take that place. Luke Newing's gone back up the inside, said, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. And here comes Dostal too. He is all racing at this moment. And then the guys behind him, Fazari, Banachek and Goff, all waiting in line like a human centipede here, ready to take the chockies if anything comes a problem between these three. Wowee, what racing here. We've got 5 or 6 cars all within 5/10 of each other here. 5 races, 5, oh my God, 5 laps out of the 21 gone, and Higginson's gone wide. So that is going to invite Dostal up the inside here. Christopher Munro, this is going to be a suckage battle. Who's going to get the side drafting down onto the final straight of the corners that we're coming up here at Barbagallo?
Yeah, side drafting indeed, but advantage in the Dostal garage here at the moment. He just has to hit his marks now, and he will have that position. Nathan Higginson trading a little bit of a paint swap as well, but look at Fazari. He's in the hot seat. He wants to get a bit of this action as well. Look at this. He gets up the inside of Higginson as well. That's Banachek closing in with Goff and Marshall. Bloody O'Brien's in there as well. There's a lot of cars in this nice little bit of track. It's starting to heat up here. We got Fazari, Higginson, the 2 green machines just side by side up. There's Elliott just coming back onto the track at the worst time he could. But he's just been sideswiped himself. That is terrible stuff, but unfortunate. But I think there's nothing much that Elliott could do about that. He came back out onto the track at a very unopportune time and just ended up just sideswiping himself, really. But Will Kirk now is on the back of the magician Brandon Pearce. Now, it's 6 laps out of 21. That means 15 to go, ladies and gents. Wow, he's right up the arse of Brandon Pearce. Look at how close that is. You can stick a cigarette paper between those two. And Brandon Pearce weaving furiously to try and break that toe. But they're now side by side. Kirk has the advantage. He will have the inside run here for turn 4, Zach O'Reilly. It's all going to start to heat up, but they're still side by side heading into turn 4.
Oh, Pearso's off. He's gone. He's absolutely outbraked himself. And he's lost all momentum there as Brandon Pearce. Lucky he's got a bit of leeway between himself and Newing, but Newing's coming at a rate of knots here up behind him. That black VS Commodore is looking very, very racy here at this moment. Pearso's looking in his rear vision mirror going, shit, I've lost 3 places here potentially. Spewing Newing, side drafting and painting. Paint swapping at the moment. Wowee, that was close between those two. I'll give you the hot tip. And now Newing's going to try and get the suck here. He's got to get back into that slipstream and quick smart, because that is some powerful Ford Falcon motor there over the VS Commodore. And Brandon Pearce survives somehow. Survived 7th place there over spewing Newing after all that. He's just got to get his head back into the swing of things here, because he knows that spewing will be all over him. Bar the shouting if there comes to a time. He's deep under brakes. Is spewing. Pearce has seen him and shut himself. Nearly touched each other there. Wow, that was some momentum swapping there indeed. Now they're side by side. Oh, this is intense stuff. You don't want to be too close to each other here. Pearso's on the anchors already. And here goes Brownie outside. Goes Newing. Wow, drive. What a pass. That is incredible momentum there from Newing. And then Pearso's giving him a bit of a touch to give him something to hold it. Oh, they're taking each other out. And Newing's off. No. He's lost it all completely. He came back onto the circuit, side draft Brandon Pearce and side swiped him, but it ended up taking himself out. Nothing anyone could have done there. And Spewing has got the buckets ready to go. And Pearso is waiting to redress. That wasn't your fault, Brandon Pearce. Keep going, son. He's waiting to redress. He's given up a place to Nathan Hughes, and that is it. But Fergo, Wowee, he is hounding the back here. 3/10 of a lap quicker over Zach Scowen, and he's sending it harder than Australia. Posts up the inside of Christmas. Wowee, Fergo, here we go.
Here he comes now. He's got the blood boiling here with Andrew Ferguson. He's got that Kmart car, the VX Commodore of Zach Scowen just in front of him, and he wishes it wasn't, because he's got Thomas Wilson and Nick Mello have both made the pass on Scowen just in that lap previous. So they're just now starting to eke out a little bit of a gap to Ferguson. And I'll tell you what, Fergo, he'll be feeling the heat now too, because he's got Will Kirk just diving down the inside there at turn 6. That's not what you want to see. You want to be trying to make up room to the guy in front and keep in touch with those two leaders who are, mind you, they're 3/10 away from each other. So we're going to keep one eye on that little battle there indeed, because Thomas Wilson, Nick Mello, that will be a battle I want to watch for the end of this race. So we'll get there eventually. But Ferguson just can't quite keep up with Zach Scowen at the moment. He was 2/10 slower that time around. But, I mean, on paper, you'd think Fergo just has him 6 days a week. But I guess Zach Scowen just coming into his own here at the arse end of this event. And he's got his iron, but there now just goes wide there at turn 4. This will set up Ferguson for the pass around the kink there at turn 5. Ferguson keeping it on the track too. Very nicely done for both of those guys. Ferguson takes position, finally gets up into third position, but look at that, a little return serve from Scowen. He's not going to have the momentum going up the hill, you'll see. I think Ferguson will have the better run, and he does. He gets back in front, and Will Kirk and Nathan Hughes now chiming in to make this a four-way battle.
Oh, geez, this is close. Oh, that was Kirk giving the old Scowen a tap there, and they both ran wide. Now Nathan Hughes is right on the back here of the captain. This is going to be close too. These guys are not going to give each other an inch coming into T1 on the defence. Here goes Will Kirk. Wowee. Nathan Hughes just biding his time at the moment. You can see Zach Scowen. He's 100% struggling with oversteer on his VX Commodore. That thing is sliding all over the place. Those tyres are red hot at this moment. Can he keep it together? We're not too sure, because here comes Will Kirk, the captain. He's on the prowl. He's got the afterburners on, sailing through the galaxies at this point in time, and he's just going to get off into that gravel and that sand there. That's going to kill his momentum. Here comes Nathan Hughes, having a half a sniff up the inside.
No.
Oh, Nathan Hughes! Oh, no, he's taken them both out. Oh, you wouldn't read about it, ladies and gentlemen, in the Herald Sun. These two have come together far out, selling the newspapers left, right and centre. Hughesy is absolutely spewing. He is not moving 1 millimetre, and he's finally getting going. Oh, geez, poor old Nathan Hughes just trying to keep it going, but he was the perpetrator of that.
Yeah.
And I reckon Captain Kirk there will be absolutely livid at Nathan Hughes there for trying to send it up the inside too hard, losing that rear end, and that was all she wrote there. Now, Spewy Newing is on the back here for 7th. He has come all over this. Him and Dostal and Pierce are fighting tooth and nail. Brandon Pierce's car is also very, very loose in the rear end, just struggling to get that EL planted, that rear downforce 100% not working to its best ability at this point in time, because Dostal has now got the chockies. He's got half a run here. Brandon Pierce is on the slide on the exit there of turn 4. Here we go, turn 5 coming our way. Still advantage to Brandon Pierce. That car's got some horsepower, I guarantee you that. The VX Commodore.
Well, we've lost our co-commentator there. The microphone just dropping out. But as you can see on your screen, the action is all there. Luke Newing just tacking onto the back of Brandon Dostal there. Brandon Pierce heading the way, but he can feel the sweat starting to build in the back of his helmet. I can certainly guarantee you that. Brandon Dostal just going a wide line around the outside of that curbing. But these three guys are locked together here. Can Brandon Pierce hold off these guys for the remainder of this race? What do we got? 8 laps to go. It's all going to be happening here. We've lost our co-commentator. I think his microphone's just bit the dick. So it's me and you for the rest of this race. Hopefully not. Hopefully he can get back in. But until then, we've got action aplenty here. Brandon Dostal does have the run on Brandon Pierce. He's going to look to... Oh, jeez, he almost looked to go the inside. He's going to just get it done on the exit. That's the better plan, I think, as well. Getting that traction down up the hill. He's got a bit of an overlap now as well, so Brandon Pierce has to give him room. We're going to get a top view to just see how far that overlap is. It's a fucking beefstick going into turn 7, but look at how good Brandon Pierce is under brakes. Gets that car and just puts a bit of a length on it going into the turn and out as well. There goes... There goes Brandon Pierce off into the distance. Here goes Luke Newing under brakes. Very deep indeed. Just Brandon Dostal caught napping there as well. Just left the door wide open for the number 37 to just slide up the inside and take that position. Thank you very much. Gee whiz, we're going to get an update here on Zach O'Reilly. Is he back in the TeamSpeak? He's not. It's actually the TeamSpeak server that's gone. So we're going to try and reconnect to that. As we do, we've got, 7 laps to go, so hopefully we're going to get that done. It's not going to happen, so we're going to try and get Zach O'Reilly back on the Discord channel. We're going to unmute myself there. We're going to unmute Zach as well, but I don't think I can. Hopefully you can hear me. But I'm going to send him a quick message, ladies and gentlemen, but we can't go anywhere because look at the action. Will Kirk now chiming in. He's got Brandon Pierce pushing him, squeezing him right to the inside of the track. But Will Kirk has that advantage, has that track position, takes the position now with Brandon Pierce looking for a switchback. It's not going to happen for him this time, ladies and gents. Will Kirk has that position sewn up. Wow, he goes defensive too. Into third. Oh no, he's just hit Luke Newing, and Hanley comes in on the back and gives it a little bit of a stamp of approval. That's some awkward stuff there between those two guys, but very nicely done from Will Kirk, giving the redress back to Luke Newing. Oh boy, let's ride on board now with, who are we going to ride on board with? Will Kirk for a lap. Turn your screens up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get my co-commentator back in the box. But until then, listen to the sweet sounds of V8 Supercar.
Connected.
How sweet is that sound, ladies and gentlemen? You can see him, and now here comes Thornton, just barging his way through. Wow, he's come from the back and making ways through this field. I haven't been able to reconnect with Zach O'Reilly. He just needs to unmute himself in the Discord. But until then, we've got 4 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Mello is your leader for this race, but look at who is behind him. Tommy Wilson, and only by 2/10 of a. He's back. Zach O'Reilly, we've got him back in the comms box, ladies and gentlemen.
Was I talking all that time and you weren't listening to me?
No, TeamSpeak just stopped working. No. TeamSpeak went. And you went with it, and so I've been commentating, trying to furiously get you back on board, but you're here now to call the last four laps.
No, I've got no breath left. I'm out. I've been calling the last 4 laps anyway. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we are looking here, that's for sure. You can call the last couple as well, Chris. Don't worry about that. But that battle at the back there, we can't see it on screen, but wowee, between 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, and 10th and 9th, it's all on bar the shouting. These guys are not letting go of each other at this point in time. We have got it happening here. Thornton is ploughing his way through the field. And he's dead set coming up on the back there of Fazzari and taking that position off him. Fazzari in 10th now. Now the captain's going to have a sniff at him too, if he can get onto the back of him. But he's got the rear vision mirror full of Ed Marnus as well. Ed Marnus is on the prowl as well. And Fazzari's had an absolute butcher's time there on the last corner. That's going to hamper him on the exit. What can Captain Kirk do? Is he going to go up the inside? No rear brake lights there for the VX. Wow, yeah, that's incredible stuff. That is an awesome drive from all 3 of those guys, keeping it clean and mean. And it's still happening. Andre Elliott behind them for P13 and 14 between himself and Banachek. Still having a good crack for the chockies. These guys are not letting go of each other. Holy mackerel, geez Louise, it's all happening here, ladies, at the MCG. And gentlemen, I'll tell you what, the Wanneroo Raceway is giving us all of the action here for the final laps here, for the final event. And there it goes, Andre Elliott up the inside of Banachek. That was fair. He left all the space, but I'll tell you what, the captain's got the slide on, and Nick Marnus, he's going to have this run on both of them. Fazzari got a shocker of an exit too, but Nick Marnus is going to try and take 11th place here off the captain. Can he do it? No. The captain's gone up the inside and taken Fazzari as well. Oh, this could be hairy stuff. They're both up the inside of each other. And Fazzari's got around the outside, kept the momentum strong, but here comes Igmanis. Igmanis is probably going to try and take a 2 for 1. No, thinks better of it. Tries the outside route and goes into turn 1, hanging it fat around the outside. Here comes Andre Elliott too.
Wow.
Fazari's lost the place, and this is all happening here, Christopher Munro. Wowee, what a time to get on board again.
Oh, this is unreal. I mean, after however many laps, what have we done? 63 laps tonight. They're still nose to tail. After that many trials and tribulations around this bloody circuit. Unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic. Here goes Igmanis now, just looking to set up a move on, who's that in front? Fazari. But Andre Elliott has other plans. Diving it down the inside there at turn 7 it's going to compromise his exit. So he's not going to be trouble to him. Going up the inside there is Curtis Igmanis. He's got the overlap just there with Fazari, going very wide of that outside curbing. But look at Elliott just searching for a way through, and I think he has now. Just a little bit of tapping through. Oh, that was an early turn in there from Curtis Igmanis, and disaster there for Fazari, Elliott, Igmanis, all three of them going off there at turn 1. Very sad to see, but it was sort of shaping up that way, wasn't it, Zach O'Reilly? These guys were getting very, very close and personal with each other.
It was brewing like an afternoon Queensland thunderstorm there, Christopher Munro.
Sure was.
And you could see it happening, that's for sure. It came, the dark clouds were coming in the distance. The leader is on the final lap of the race. But geez Louise, those guys were having an absolute ripper of a tussle. And Nick Mallow's probably going to take the chockies here if Tommy Wilson can't do anything about that. After all of this battling in the mid-pack, Chris, I reckon that Nick Mallow is going to take the chockies here for the final race if Tommy Wilson can't do anything about it. Those two have been so close to each other the whole race. It's been very entertaining to see the deltas just go. And yeah, he's definitely got it now because Wilson's off into the bunda, and that should cement. Nick Mallow's gone wide. He's on the slide there. This is going to be half a chance. Can they go up the inside of each other? No. He nearly lost it there to Nick Mallow. Jeez Louise. Tom Wilson nearly had half a chance there to take P1, but I think it's going to be Nick Mallow. If the commentator curse happens, oh, geez, the worst time to happen.
Oh, he's
shortly
going
now.
for it.
Here goes Wilson. He's sent it up the inside. Can't get the job done. And Nick Mallow is going to take the chockies here for the final race of the evening. Wowee. 0.2 of a second. No, 1.5 seconds nearly by the end of it. To Nick Mallow over Tom Wilson. That was some great racing here. It's still happening at the back here between 16th and 15th and 14th. That battle has not given up at all. Husey is involved in that. That is also Andre Elliott in there between himself and Fazari. He's got up the inside of Nielsen too. So this could be the final positions of the race. Fergo's come into third. That's 2 podiums for Fergo.
Oh, yeah.
Scowen, Dostal, Pearce, Hanley, Thornton, Louis, Kirk. Banachek's about to cross the line, but what is Fazari going to be up against here? This could be a photo finish. No, that is Fazari taking the final position out of all of those. Wowee. Fazari versus Elliott, Nielsen, Bullock. That is some close finishing there. Only a couple of tenths between them. Whoa, geez, technical difficulties aside, that was a final race to behold.
Yeah, those guys nose to tail, dead set human centipede style. Very good to see, excuse me. But Nick Mallow taking the win. We've had 3 different race winners in 3 different races. That goes to show the level of competition we've got here in the server, ladies and gents. It is hot. The pace is hot. We've stood a little raid from ASR. A couple of those boys coming across to show us how it's done, but. Tell you what, couldn't handle it with the heat here in AC. It's dead set. And look at Nick Mallow, just the line locker all the way up the pit lane. Very nice to see. That front left tyre just completely locked up too, just sitting there in the wheel guard. Thank you very much. Gets a new set for next weekend, hopefully. But Project 4 doing very nicely here indeed. 3 different race winners, 3 different races. What a way to start 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 different race winners. And qualifying was close as you want to get it. Literally, that was just so close. What an event. These guys have had a month to practice here, so we'd expect nothing less here in the commentary box, and also at home to all of you viewers out there. I cannot thank you enough for tuning in and watching with us. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you. And in the comms box, it is obviously myself and Christopher Munro calling all the action. That was something to behold. I reckon that's probably one of the better races that we've seen in a long time. in the V8 Supercar land. Those guys were not giving each other an inch. Tommy Wilson and Nick Mallow right up against each other till the very, very end. That delta at the end does not reflect the final result. Those two were absolutely neck and neck on pace. But Fergo has got 2 podium positions and definitely going to be happy with that. Chris is off and running to his house. He said he needs to sleep. I reckon he's off there. Next, Zach Scowen in 4th place after starting off pole. That is a very, very good result for Zach Scowen. I reckon that's his best position ever here in AK Racing. Brandon Dostal in 5th place. As well, Brandon Pearce in 6th. Good effort by him. Dean Hanley and Thornton climbing his way back through the field, even though he came a proper again at the start. He was dead set last, Chris. So I reckon driver of the day has to go to Dave Thornton for ploughing his way through from dead set 26th and finishing up in 7th place. Wow, or 8th place, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, Luke Newing in 9th and Captain Kirk in 10th. What an event.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Give him the man of the match. We forgot a Champ Street, but we'll get onto that for next round as everyone's pretty much out of the server now. You can see one lonely driver down there doing the rounds. Thanks to all the viewers that tuned in tonight. I think we had a max of 40 at one point, which is fantastic to see. So many people getting behind the Sunday night show here at SimSational TV. I tell you what, we got big things coming this year on the channel. So if you like the sound of me and Zach's voice, there's more of that coming. And we've recruited a couple more little commentators as well. So we're going to have wall-to-wall action here on SimSational TV this year. And dead set looking forward to that. And dead set looking forward to the next round here at the Classic V8s as well. We're heading to Phillip Island for the next one. That's one of my favourite circuits in the country, if not the world. So hearing these thunderous old V8s wrap it around that circuit is going to be certainly one to tick off my bingo card.
Well, I would 100% agree there, Christopher. Yes, in terms of Phillip Island, that is a track where you definitely want to watch any sort of racing, motorbikes, V8 supercars, whatever. That is where you want to be.
Yeah.
And I reckon that in 2 weeks' time, that's going to be one absolute rip snorter of a round to be part of, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a massive, massive thank you once again to all of our viewers tonight here. As Chris said, 40 before as our peak. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hopefully you guys can watch it back as well at the end of it, because it was a fantastic event tonight. Very, very close racing. Nice driving from most of the field. And I reckon we could keep that trend going for 2025. The racing at AK is going to be something to behold, and definitely somewhere to tune in at SimSational TV, Christopher.
Yeah, well, as we saw, I guess late last year as well, not only this series but the Wednesday Cup, the Aussie V8 Supercars as well, just so tight between not only the top couple but the top half of the field. Like, any one of those guys can win it in any one of these series, and that's just a testament to how much hard work these drivers put in behind the scenes and all the practice they do. It's not easy. You can't just turn up to a league race and win it, ladies and gentlemen. There is a high level of skill around the traps here at all these drivers. So it is absolute privilege for myself and Zach to get to call on it. Basically, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else on a Sunday night. I'll give you the hot tip, and I'm sure all you guys tuning in feel the same. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Zacho, what do you think?
Yep, done. And once again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in. Thanks to all of our regulars on the chat. Thanks to Gearhead, Scuzzy, Ron Marshall, Benny Logan for tuning in as well, Braden Moore, Gearhead as well. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to call it with you guys and everyone else there in YouTube land as well as Nick Mallow, Jesse Marshall and Walshy, and keeps going on. The list keeps going on. It's also a pleasure to be calling with you. But we are done and one and run here at SimSational TV tonight. Chris Munro's going to go to bed. I'm probably going to do the same. But for next time, we are going to be back here at SimSational TV. Make sure you've got that notification bell ticked on your YouTube channels to know when we are streaming next, because I'll tell you what, you're going to be missing out this year. 2025 is going to be huge. But thank you very much. On behalf of Christopher and myself, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And as always here at SimSational TV, Chris has been himself. I've been me, and guess what? You're not. And we will always here at SimSational TV. Keep it flat
out.